Alright, here we go. We got like... I wish they still had the timer up. But looking at the timer over here, we got like 15 minutes. I'm going to be honest, it's like raining outside right now, so that's kind of what woke me up. Besides my alarms blaring at me. Like, I got the alarm over there just going. Yeah. So, yeah. We already got the bingo card, so let me just show it off real quick. Oh, it's overlaid. 1 second. They're gonna have to move that up, actually. So we got the bingo card right here. I already copied down the Discord if your customers want to follow. I'm still going to put my hunch for C. Button is for capture. What else would it be? But yeah, some other stuff, just maybe Miiverse related stuff. That would be cool if they brought that back. I'm going to hope that they stick with the OLED screen. And, you know, it's been a while since we got a Kirby game. Also, they did... I'm going to guess they're going to show off the mouse features for the Joy-Cons. This thing is probably going to have some first-person... Actually, I'm still trying to figure out how that work, actually. Okay, so... Man, this is actually not... Now that I think about it, this will be a game changer if they actually provide, like, okay, one hand you're holding the Joy-Con, moving your character like WASD, but just with a joystick. And the other hand, you're just moving your Joy-Con like a mouse. That's going to be nuts if that happens. Because that's just going to just change the whole concept of just mouse and keyboard. Instead, you got Joy... I don't know, what would you call it? Joy Mouse? Mouse-Con? Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, I've done that before. Actually, I have God, I cannot speak. It's like almost 8 a.m. in the morning here. I've been drinking some iced tea. But yeah, no, it's like I have like done the whole like, you know, hold the controller in one hand, move the camera around with the mouse. That is possible. In fact, I remember people doing that all the time in back when Halo Infinite first came out. But yeah. But we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Anyways, I'm just gonna hide that. Pull this up. I'm really hoping for UI themes as well. Did I put that on the bingo? Yeah, I did. That was the last thing I put on. Because, come on, it's been like how many years? And the Nintendo Switch still has the default 2 themes. Man, the 3DS used to have so many cool themes. I'm not gonna lie, looking back, I really did not utilize enough of the social features that the 3DS had. Like, I missed out on their drawing features, honestly. What was that animation software they had? I forgot. I it's so early in the morning. I cannot think. I had to like last night. I had to like reinstall OBS because I think I installed some plugins in the wrong places, and I just wanted to pretty much start. I mean, I backed up all my scenes and stuff like that. So luckily, I didn't have to reconstruct them this morning. Well, although I'm gonna have to go through my game captures and delete a lot of them. I was showing one of my mods my game captures sources, and they're like, "Oh, why do you have so many?" It's like, because I used to separate them by game, specifically the games I would frequently play on the channel. Yeah. And then they actually taught me if a game it's not auto capturing by the full screen, you just gotta like, yeah. You just gotta, I think it was like toggle the anti-cheat feature or something. I forget. Man. I did not get enough sleep. Ooh. In fact, let's go over some more of my choices. I really doubt there's going to be another Kid Icarus title for at least this lifetime. But who knows? Maybe we'll get Silksong, but that'll be the big reveal. Like, Silksong is starting to become like the Half-Life 3 of indie games. Mm-hmm. And now I think about it, they could have Half-Life to like with the whole with the whole like mouse Joy-Con thing. Imagine if, because they already put Portal on the Switch. So hey, what if Nintendo decides to team up with Valve and they're like, oh hey, here's the entire Half-Life collection. Want to own a physical copy of Half-Life again? No, here you go. I actually don't know if they did that with Portal. Was Portal digital only, or did they have like physical copies that I missed out on? You know, now that I think about it, hold on. Can I make this bingo? No, I can't. I was gonna say, if I could like make it small enough, cover the side windows, which I do find it ironic that they're recommending me fucking the Silksong trailer next to the stream announcement. It's hilarious. Thank you, Nintendo. Thank you for reminding me. Alright, I think that should be good. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm just gonna pull it up like this. Like, I already got it set up and everything. Okay, we got like 5 minutes. Oh yeah, also, you know, they're probably going to give us an update for Tears of the Kingdom. On the Switch 2, you'll be able to just spawn in like 100 items, and then people will finally go back to that game and with like I mean, they probably had mods for that secretly. You see, you don't talk about it because otherwise Nintendo will come after you, and just, yeah, that's what apparently happened to the person that made the Breath of the Wild multiplayer mod. Yeah. But you know, the performance for the Nintendo Switch 2, it's probably going to be like, as others have said, similar to like a PS4, which is actually more than enough, honestly. But let's be honest, come on, we play Nintendo games. We're not here for the graphics, we're here for the gameplay. In fact, I was actually reading an article talking about how Sony is starting to realize, hey, maybe we shouldn't focus mainly on graphics and making our games look like just movies. Yeah, maybe we should work on gameplay. And I just couldn't help but just think about all the platformers they used to have. Man. What if we made Little Big Planet 4, huh? Huh? No? Okay. Okay, I'll wait for Restitch to come out. You know, there was actually a pretty funny April Fool's Day prank made by the Restitch devs, where they literally, like, announced the Restitch go-kart. Oh, man. Yeah. And then I remember people posting screenshots of Little Big Planet Racing, which, you know, that'd be actually nice if I could get those games on the PC. You know, just PlayStation. If you're going to put your games on PC, can you just give me some of your classics? This gives, you know, what you could do: re-release the Little Big Planet collection for the PS5, and then just give us a PC port with the collection. I'll buy it day one. But then, you know, they're not going to do that because they don't want to turn those servers back on. Mm-hmm. And this is why the PS5 has no games, because they refuse to give us good games. But yeah. Alright. Also, while I was actually scrolling through Twitter, a bunch of people were actually mentioning how apparently GameCube games aren't on the Nintendo Switch Online. I was like, oh, what about DS games? And so yeah, I think I added DS games on the bingo. Where was it? Did I? No, I added Nintendo Switch. Where was it? Oh yeah, GameCube. Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine they would probably go for GameCube games before DS games, because I don't know. The DS is like, they would probably bring back a lot of their older titles. You can't sleep? Well, join me for the Nintendo Switch 2. You know, we got the bingo set up and everything. Hope you're ready. If you have any other predictions you hope for, say your piece. You have like 4 minutes. Say your piece now or forever. Actually, no, you'll see it. Oh, I did actually add DS online services. Okay. I just made this bingo board. How did I forget? And okay, I should probably go over some other spaces. $400 retail. That sounds. I can't imagine Nintendo going over $500. You predict the Switch too. Okay, well, you get a free space for that one. Congratulations. I'm going to assume that they might be announcing the Luigi's Mansion remake, because they've already done Luigi's Mansion. They're counting backwards, pretty much. I haven't even played Luigi's Mansion 2 yet on the channel. It's on the backlog somewhere. I just have to go through my stack on my dresser. Now, I'm not going to lie, I never got too into Star Fox, but hey, if they do announce a new Star Fox game, maybe I'll check it out. And I'm hoping it'll be released in June. I really hope it doesn't get released in the fall. Like, I know they said it's going to be released this year, but just please let it be. Like, I want to play this over the summer. And maybe Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, chat though. We got like 2 minutes. Mm-hmm. I hope you're pumped. I'm going to actually finish my tea. All right. Let me actually take a look at the other chats. I'm not going to lie. Recently, I'm currently testing out streaming at a lower bitrate. You predict Silk Song won't appear. That is going to be like the indie game, or the Half-Life 3 of indie games right there. Just Silk Song. A song that is forever silk. Okay, we got 1 minute. 1 minute, let's go. 1 minute. Stop the music. We got 1 bloody minute. Here we go. I hope your customers are ready. It is happening, you know? Gaming is going to be changed forever with this. In 60 seconds, we are about to witness history. I hope your customers are ready. Probably not, because it's like 8 a.m. in the morning for maybe some. At me, it's me. It's yeah. Okay, sorry, just aligning my chat so I can take a look at the YouTube chat and the Twitch. Gotta adjust my windows. Alrighty. Oh, here it is. Wow. No fancy animation or anything? Okay, we're going straight into the game. A balloon. Oh my god. Oh, wait, they are doing a fancy animation for this. Oh, wow. I gotta say, they're trying to one-up PlayStation with their animations. Holy moly. Okay, yeah, fancy animation. There you go. Check that off the bingo list. Oh, Mario Kart. Yep. Nice. Wow. The music is going hard. Listen to that. I like how compact the cars are. All right. So Mario Kart 9. Here we go. It's still amazing how it's like they gave us all that DLC. Oh, Donkey Kong. All right. Yeah, I'm liking Donkey Kong's new expression. Wario looking thick as ever. Oh, motorcycles. All right. Oh, what the heck? Grinding on the rails. Oh, what? They flip? Holy shit. You can play as the cow? You can play as the cow. Wow. And you can eat burger. Oh, what the heck? They have new forms. What? The power-ups that changes your appearance. Holy shit. Wow, okay. That is surprising. Mario Kart World. So it's not even called Mario Kart 9, it's just World.
Hello everyone.
Yeah.
I'm Koichi Kawamoto, and I'll be one of your guides for today's Nintendo Direct. I'm the producer for Nintendo Switch 2.
I'm Takuhiro Dota, the director for Nintendo Switch 2.
Interesting.
And I'm Tetsuya Sasaki, the hardware design lead for Nintendo Switch 2.
I'm curious to see what they got.
What you just saw was Mario Kart World,
I mean, we just saw.
launching exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2.
Exclusive.
Now, what do you think this brand new Mario Kart game will be like?
Mario Kart. But with power-ups. Like, and platforming. Really?
Is launching exclusively on the Nintendo
That's crazy. The fact that they're going on the walls. Wow.
Kart races are held throughout various regions that span
Uh-huh.
the globe.
Is half of this going to be Mario Kart World?
Depending on the time of day and weather conditions, the atmosphere.
Oh, look at that.
will
Look at that boo. Really? What? Huh.
And in this
I think
Mario
Mario
Kart
Kart will
game,
be Mario Kart.
you
How's...
can go off the racetrack and drive virtually
Really?
everywhere in this world.
Open world racing? Oh, so they don't slow you down?
Classic Grand Prix, race through 4 courses in a bid for
A
first place.
story mode. Or a road map. Okay.
You'll also drive to the next course as part of the competition. With 24 drivers in each race,
24?
the most in series
What?
history, the competition is gearing
Wow.
up. Introducing Knockout Tour.
Oh, they're actually adding
Non-stop
new mini
from one
games.
corner of the world to another.
Or not mini games, but like challenges or whatever. Okay.
There are multiple checkpoints along the way. If you're below the placement shown when you hit a checkpoint, you'll be eliminated.
Interesting.
Can you make it all the way to the finish line?
And they just plop a crown on you if you're in first place. What? Okay, so what is free
You can
roaming?
also freely drive around this vast world in free roam.
That's actually pretty cool.
By going off-road, you can explore new
You don't
areas
get
and
slowed down.
So drive wherever your heart takes you.
That's crazy. Actually.
You can also go for scenic drives with
Wow.
friends. And even take photos together at different locations.
Road trips. We are going to have road trips. Holy moly. Oh, they even brought Namek.
Brand new race across the entire
I think that was his name. I
starts
forget.
here.
Wow.
Mario Kart World.
Yeah.
The game launches on the
Same day.
as Nintendo Switch 2.
What? April 17th? It comes out in April this month?
So be on the lookout
It
for
comes out
information
this
on the
month?
feature.
What?
Mario Kart World launches on the same day as Nintendo Switch 2.
April
More details
17th?
in the future, so we hope you're looking forward to it.
Holy shit!
Next, we'd like to introduce some of the new features of Nintendo Switch 2.
I'm just gonna...
These are the Joy-Con 2 controllers for Switch 2. And on the right Joy-Con
Just gonna
2,
scratch that out.
we've added a new C button.
What does the C... Oh, C button.
Let's take a look at some new experiences it offers.
Yo, we got the C button. They're talking about it. What does it do? Yes, that's me.
I'm still ahead of all of you guys.
That's me. Together?
That was you.
What? Wait, they're actually adding online integration?
Wait, no.
All to... Oh my god. Wait, wait, is this... They're not using phones. They're not using phones, chat.
Introducing Game Chat,
Oh
a new
my
feature for
god.
Nintendo Switch 2.
It's Discord.
With this feature, you'll be able to communicate
I
with
use...
friends and family while playing the
Okay.
game.
Man, I used to actually use the PlayStation voice channel thing before Discord.
While using the Game Chat feature,
There's a mic.
your voice is recognized by a microphone.
There's a
built into the
microphone
system.
in the Nintendo Switch 2. Oh, we are so
You can
back.
pick up your speaking voice clearly, even from a
Just like the
distance.
DS. Oh boy, I can't wait for the show
When it's noisy around
We are
you,
so
your voice
back.
will still come through clearly, letting you chat with ease.
It does look beautiful. It's so pink.
And you can use this feature in handheld mode too, letting you easily chat with friends and family.
Wow.
If you open the chat menu and turn on game screen sharing,
You saw the FPS?
you can also share
Look
your
at that.
home screen.
Look at the FPS on the other screens.
Really? They can do that?
Do it?
You guys
Oh.
did it.
I want to do it too.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, they obviously have to do that so you can actually play your game. Oh my god, look at the frame rate on the other people.
Hey.
Oh,
You can
Animal
chat to
Crossing?
your heart's content,
Okay, this is
even
all
while playing different
that's
games.
all the same re-release games. Okay.
Hard, right? It's tough.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so you all could okay, so it's actually Discord.
Kirby, look, you're in a star.
We are oh man, if anything ever happens to Discord, we will just be on our
You
Nintendo
can adjust
Switch.
the size of your game screen.
Counterpoint, you could just do a Discord call with your friends. Well, yeah.
I'm lost. Like,
But why not do it on my Switch?
or expand
I could screen share. Oh man.
Above that wall that's to your left. You're almost there, It's just like the wall. Like,
Oh.
she gets past the wall.
This is where I have to do a little wall ride.
Oh. Wow, look at that.
So everyone can
Look at that. Look at that wall grind. They literally turned Mario Kart into just Tony Hawk. You could grind on rails on your car.
Let's take a picture here.
Okay, are you ready?
Smile.
Ah, that's cute.
Oh, yo, that's sick.
I like your pose, Meeks.
So that's what the
Right
C
Joy-Con
button.
2 controller, there's an additional button.
Oh, they're not talking
With
about
the
it?
C button, you can pull up a chat menu.
Oh, C for chat. Oh, I thought it was for capture.
I'll be right back, yeah?
Here, you can quickly
Oh.
introduce yourself and more. And there's this.
Oh,
By connecting this
camera?
to the system.
accessories.
Hey,
Hey, what's up? Hello.
I didn't have that on my bingo card.
Hi, how's everyone?
Oh, what? You just get automatic
you
green
can
screen?
and video
Wait,
chat.
how does that work?
Faces on here.
Wait, Nick, how was your test yesterday?
It was good.
No.
Here's how it looks with just the camera feed.
I'm way behind,
There you
guys.
go. I bet you like
Can
that.
you wait for me?
Please look forward to
Fire
games
expenses.
which use your camera feed like this.
$20 webcam for your PC.
Okay.
No, wait.
looks good.
Go
That
left,
looks
go
good.
left, left.
No, this is useless for me.
Using
This-
game chat. Even when you're apart. You can play games and hang out as if you were together in the same room.
But you guys are in the
Play
same room.
together, or compete in
Okay.
online multiplayer games. Chat while playing your personal favorites. Decide your own rules for a retro game competition. Or
Nobody
hold
does
a
face
sports
call though. This
competition
feature
between
nobody
families.
asked for. Well, that's Nintendo for you.
All together, anytime, anywhere. Game chat.
What did you think? In developing Game Chat, our goal was for you to enjoy playing online with others more closely, including family and friends.
You need all
Almost as if
four
you're all
of you
playing
to
together in the
buy
same
an
place.
expensive parapol for
The
it.
camera you saw in the trailer is the Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, so that's why they have the
Which will
USB-C.
be available on the same day as Switch 2.
I'm surprised it's coming out this month.
A Nintendo Switch Online membership
April
will be required
17th.
to use Game Chat.
I thought this shit was coming out in June.
Since we'd like as many people as possible to experience Game Chat, it will be available without a membership. for a
Open
limited time.
access.
We hope you'll try it out.
Wait, what ends March?
Additionally,
What?
Game Chat supports the Nintendo Switch
do you
parental
mean?
controls.
Oh,
and
wait.
different settings can be adjusted.
Did it
For
say
example, whether
next
parental
year?
Permission is always required when a child wants to use Game Chat to play with their friends.
Hmm.
We'd like to introduce another new
Okay,
experience
well-
you can share with family and friends. On Nintendo Switch,
Mhm.
even if you just have one game, you can pass a Joy-Con controller to a friend and play together. But
I've
on
done this
Nintendo
with
Switch
Smash
2,
Brothers.
You can play together locally on multiple systems
Really?
using just one game.
Oh, so you just brought back DS
Shown
Lite
here,
or the
even
DS
games that
game
require
sharing.
multiple Screens can be played if one person owns a compatible game. With Game Share, you can temporarily share compatible games with others who also have Nintendo Switch 2
I'm
or
not.
a
The Switch
Nintendo
is a
Switch system.
dinosaur.
You can share a game with up to 3 other systems at a time. Game Share also supports online play with other Switch 2 systems, and you can use it with friends via Game Chat, which
Okay.
we showed earlier. Game Share can only be used with compatible games. This feature is planned
Uh-huh.
for several titles, starting with a free update for
So
Clubhouse
only
games
one
if you
person
want
has to own a
World War
copy of the
on
game,
Nintendo
and
Switch.
all your friends on the Nintendo Switch
Game Share
2
support
can
is also
play.
planned for select games
I
exclusive
think.
to Nintendo Switch 2.
Yeah.
So we hope you'll look forward to it.
Okay.
Up next,
Oh,
we'd like to show you
The snapping.
Nintendo Switch 2 system itself.
I don't understand this from a business perspective. They want you to buy 4 copies of game, not one. No, I think it's like you buy one and you share it locally
At
with the others.
7.9 inches, Switch 2 has a bigger built-in screen.
Okay,
Here's how that
bigger
compares
screen.
to Nintendo
Is
Switch
it OLED by
The system's
default?
thickness remains the same.
High definition display.
With
How
approximately
big?
double the pixels compared
How
to
how
Switch,
big?
You can enjoy games in greater detail on the
Ooh,
1080p.
1080p. Let's fucking go 1080p.
The screen supports up to
120
frames per
FPS.
second, allowing for smoother gameplay in supported titles.
Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, we are getting. Oh, LCD, not
The
OLED,
screen is more vivid.
not
and
OLED.
supports HDR, providing more
Darn.
contrast between light and dark areas of the images.
Joy-Con 2 attached magnetically. Okay, well, we all know that.
All new Joy-Con 2
Show,
controllers
give us. I
connect
want to see the side.
magnetically. Strong magnets keep the controllers firmly attached to the system.
I remember hearing people complaining about
Pressing release button on
the snap
back.
right there. You see that? Bigger SLR buttons. Oh,
The SL and SR buttons are bigger. For
I forgot
greater
about those
comfort and
buttons.
control when playing with a Joy-Con 2 held horizontally.
Larger control stick.
The left and right sticks are now larger.
Okay. Mouse controls.
The
A.
Joy-Con 2 controller can be used as a mouse to play with compatible games. Both the left and right Joy-Con 2 support
Both of
mouse
them.
controls.
Improve audio.
By adjusting the audio balance between the ranges, sounds from the built-in speakers are
They
clearer
briefly
and
mentioned
more
that.
natural in handheld and
I thought they
tabletop
would
modes.
put up a FPS game. Built-in mic.
It has a built-in microphone, so you can voice chat with friends anytime.
You know that's
in
going to be
game
used for a WarioWare game.
It also uses noise-canceling technology to filter sounds,
Uh-huh.
so your voice will come through clearly.
You're probably still going to get background audio.
Even if you don't have a surround sound system,
They
games can be
they
enjoyed
have
with
it.
more immersive,
Okay.
three-dimensional
I
sound
thought they were going to announce
coming
their
from
exclusive
all around you.
headset. Is it going to have built-in Bluetooth at launch? New stand?
Place your Nintendo Switch however you like with a large, sturdy stand.
Is it
You can move it
large?
freely, like this.
Also, we get a good look at the side right there. 2 USB
In
ports.
addition to the USB-C port found on the bottom of the system, there's one on top as well.
Sturdily.
It's handy for
We'll
connecting
have to
a
see the
USB-C
stress
camera
test that people will do.
or charge
Really?
in tabletop mode.
Oh, they actually... Oh, they finally stopped doing the one large cable.
Nintendo Switch 2
How
comes
big?
with 256 gigabytes
Wow.
of internal storage.
Okay, that's
8
big.
times that of Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
For storing your game downloads.
I mean, you've
data,
seen the size of
and
these
more.
games, so...
Reading and writing data is also faster.
New dock, 4K support.
Use the Nintendo Switch 2 dock to connect to your
Oh, it's
TV and
round.
enable up to 4K resolution.
Where's the
for
Ethernet port?
compatible games.
And I never
HDR is
used
also
it, but...
supported in TV mode.
Okay. 4K. Fan ventilation for powerful cooling.
The Nintendo Switch
Oh, they have
2
a built-in
dock has a
built-in
that
fan.
keeps your system cool.
SD
This
card,
helps
not
keep
DS
performance
card.
stable.
I know that. The Switch 1 had a SD card expansion,
On
didn't it?
Nintendo
It
Switch 2,
does.
you
It
can
probably
play
still
Nintendo
does.
Switch 2 games, as well as compatible Nintendo Switch games.
Tell me what
Physical and
tell me
digital
what
games are
games tell me what games are being upgraded. Okay. It's only been 18 minutes, chat. And already we've been getting some good
As you
confirmations
just
here.
saw, Nintendo Switch 2 isn't simply an improved Nintendo Switch.
But it's an improved
We
Nintendo
redesigned
Switch.
the system from the ground up and packed in lots of new gameplay.
Okay, the
features.
mouse feature, that's
And
going to
to
open
help
up
players better
FPS games
understand the
for
Switch
mouse
2
users
hardware,
like me.
We're currently developing this game. Mr. Kawamoto!
Hello.
Hello. My current location is actually inside the game itself.
Oh my god.
This is Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour,
Wow.
exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2.
Do we get to see that little port right there?
I'm standing over here.
So they made a big deal about the
Okay,
magnet holding the
everyone,
Joy-Cons in
join
place,
me
but there's
inside the
also a
game.
release catch button on the back. Yeah,
There are a lot of question mark
Seems like
icons
it.
here. Let's examine them.
okay. Where are the
This
magnets?
sign reads, "Where are the magnets?" The Joy-Con 2 controllers
Attached.
attached to the system with magnets, and
Yes.
those magnets are inside the system.
Oh, right there
The
on...
SL and SR buttons on the Joy-Con 2
Oh,
are made
okay.
of metal. So that's how they attach to the system.
Is this just Astrobot but worse? I don't
A
know.
magnetic circuit is formed between them, so they won't easily detach.
Okay. So they're going in depth with this.
Through examining signs like these, you can discover all sorts of secrets about Nintendo Switch 2. Another example, the Joy-Con 2 controllers have mouse controls. And when combined with the gyroscopes, you can even do something like this.
Do I have to like hold down a flat
You can
surface
adjust the
or...
position of the golf club and aim for the cup by rotating the Joy-Con 2.
I'm glad they're going into the mouse feature now.
By combining the mouse controls and
Okay.
gyroscopes, things like this are possible.
Man, I can't wait for so many
There are secrets to discover,
so
even
many
as they
companies to
find
try to
mini games
copy
and
this
tech demos.
feature. You know it's gonna
Some of
happen.
the secrets range from the unique features of the system to tiny details.
Can you
might
use
not
this on
notice
a
until they're
PC
pointed
though?
out. There are plenty. Nintendo Switch
Oh.
2 Welcome Tour will launch as a paid digital game on the same.
Oh,
day
this is
as Nintendo
this is
Switch 2.
Astrobot. This is
Go
actually
check it out if you're interested.
yeah.
Now,
It's Astrobot
I'd
without
like
the
to share
robot.
some more information regarding Nintendo Switch 2. This is the game card. for
Oh, they're
Nintendo Switch 2
they're
players.
red now.
It's the same shape
Oh.
as Nintendo Switch game cards.
This Astro
but
Playroom,
it's no red,
but not
and
free.
it has much faster
I think it
data
I think they said it was.
Next up is additional storage. Switch 2 will
N-
only
no-
work with micro SD express cards. They're
Micro?
a different type of SD card and will make high-speed data transfers possible.
Do they come in 1 terabyte? No, it said paid. Oh, okay.
The regular micro SD cards used for Nintendo Switch will not be compatible.
That's going to be a problem.
Additionally, to transfer data from Switch
Chat,
to
is
Switch 2,
there a 1
you
terabyte
can
version of
log
that?
into your Nintendo account to use the system transfer feature. With this feature, you can transfer save data, digital games, and more. We're
Oh,
also
here we
releasing
go.
a
Pro
new
Pro 2 controller.
It has a C button, which launches Game Chat.
Ah,
And
la.
on the back, there are new GL and GR buttons, which you can use to assign existing button controls.
Okay.
In addition, an audio jack has been added.
Audio
We've
jack.
introduced a few new features, and after today's presentation, the official Nintendo Switch 2 website will go live. There will also be an Ask the Developer article on the website, where the 3 of us will talk about the development
Okay.
of Nintendo Switch 2. We hope
We'll
you'll
go
check
we'll
that
go on
out
the
as well.
we'll go on the website later after this.
And now, the Nintendo Switch 2 launch date.
They said April 17th.
Nintendo Switch 2 launches on June 5th.
What? Wait, they said
We're
Mario.
very much looking forward to the day when you all get to experience it. So
Wait,
please
did I
wait
miss
just a
did
bit
I miss
longer.
the year? Oh, it is coming out in June. Okay. Okay. I thought
Now, broadly speaking,
okay,
on
never
Nintendo
mind.
Switch 2, you can play 3 types of games. The first type is Nintendo Switch 2 games. These games take
June
advantage
release
of
date.
the performance and features of Switch 2.
The Switch Pro controller is legit my favorite controller. It's
It's
good.
Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch 2 edition games are the third type.
Uh-huh.
Some games that were released on Switch will receive upgraded
Yes, there is
versions
a
that
1
offer
terabyte
things like
micro SD. It
improved
sounds like they did
visuals,
something to
unique
make it
ways
not
to play on
recognize your
Switch
regular
2,
micro SD
and
cards.
more.
Darn.
Now, I'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Okay.
Please take a look.
I should really check that one out.
Super Mario Party Jamboree is getting an upgrade on Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, okay. The first upgraded Switch
The upgrade
game.
expands on the base game and adds new features, including mouse controls,
Uh-huh.
audio recognition,
Okay, I was right.
more expressive rumble, and gameplay
Okay.
that uses a camera accessory.
This is the Kinect camera all over again. Welcome back.
Let's check out 3 new and updated modes.
Am I wrong?
First up is Mario Party mode.
Is this not the Xbox Kinect camera?
Join the festivities. You'll be able to see each other's faces as you play, so you
No
can
thanks. I
experience
prefer
all
to
the
keep my
reactions
privacy.
and emotions in real time. Or 4 friends can take the party.
What if I don't
all
want to look at people's faces? Can I just disable that?
Up next, it's Bowser Live, a mode where the livelier team wins. Bowser will
I suspect that all the games shown today are going to be shown off with either the camera or the mouse. Seems like it.
Guide an RC car with your voice. Go! And compete in other mini games using full body movement and sound.
Oh, the
Finally,
tracking's going to be
take a
weird
ride
with
on
that.
the mouse-controlled carnival coaster. With the safety bar lowered and secured, you're off.
Mm-hmm. Is that Flow? That is
Mouse
Flowey.
controls to shoot down enemies while you feel the bumps
Okay,
and
so it seems
rumbles
like he's
of the
going to be a
coaster.
returning character.
When you enter a pipe,
Why could they bring
a
back
minigame
Cappy?
will begin.
Actually, no, they brought him back in
There's a
Smash
bouldering
Brothers.
game where 2 players each control an
Hmm.
arm, and one
Alright.
where you shake a can of spray paint and quickly tag objects.
Okay, that's cool. Just paint them pink.
Enjoy the thrill of these intuitive minigames. How quickly can you reach the station?
Mm-hmm.
From minigames that use a camera, the built-in microphone, mouse controls, and rumble, the biggest party yet is getting even bigger. Super Mario Party Jamboree, Nintendo Switch 2 edition,
Jamboree
plus
TV.
Jamboree TV launches on Nintendo Switch 2, July 24th.
Okay.
Nintendo Switch 2 players who already own Super Mario Party Jamboree can upgrade to Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV by purchasing an upgrade pack.
Please look
Okay,
forward
so
to a new
it's
Mario
DLC.
Party experience, where you can see each other's reactions
Pretty
while
much.
playing. Let's continue presenting some more Nintendo
else we
Switch
got?
2 Edition games.
You know, I really wish they talked about the Joy-Cons. Oh, wow. Breath of the Wild 2, or Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Oh,
Nintendo
hey.
Switch 2 editions of The Legend of Zelda
Finally.
Breath of the Wild and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
What's the
feature
upgrades?
enhanced resolution and frame rates.
Please let me spawn in more items
HDR,
in,
which makes
in Tears of the
image more
Kingdom.
vibrant,
Please.
so you can play with smoother, higher definition graphics.
That's lovely, but I just want to be able to build more.
Plus, you can get even more out of your adventures in Hyrule using Zelda Notes.
Okay.
This new feature can be accessed via the Nintendo Switch app on smart devices.
Please tell me I can
It's a
spawn over
game-specific
100
series
objects
that's
in Tears of the
exclusive to
Kingdom.
Switch 2 editions of these titles. For example,
Please increase the build limit.
like shrines and Koroks
We had websites for this.
Activating. Proceed north.
They literally built-in GPS.
Or you can share your creations using QR codes
Yes!
and send them to another player to create in their game.
Yes, they have finally added the share feature for this. Oh my god, everyone wanted this.
We hope these features will make your adventures even more enjoyable.
Increase the build limit. Fuck.
In Kirby and the Forgotten Land, you'll be able to enjoy an additional story exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
Oh really?
along with improved graphics and
Okay, you know what?
graphics.
That's gonna count as new Kirby game.
This story takes place in the Forgotten Land after being struck by a powerful meteor that's causing some mysterious changes.
New Kirby. New Kerbo. Aw.
We hope you're looking forward to
He's
Kirby's
bouncy.
new adventure.
Alright.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond will have
Alright,
both a
Metroid.
Nintendo Switch and a Nintendo Switch 2 edition.
Okay, so two different... Really? Is this why they canceled pre-orders? In case people want to pre-order the
In addition
Switch
to
2
standard
version?
controls, you can use mouse controls for intuitive gameplay on Switch 2.
Oh, okay. You know, that
You
makes
can explore
sense.
the immersive world in 4K
We can
at 60
finally...
frames per second.
Because it's a
Or
first-person
enjoy
shooter
similar
game.
action in full HD at 120 frames per second.
Okay. Yeah,
Choose from these two modes, both of which support HDR.
that's
based
great,
on your
actually.
preference and playstyle. Plus, Pokemon Legends ZA, which is scheduled to launch later this year.
You know,
will
at
not
this
only
point,
be
you
a
really
Nintendo
question...
Switch version, but a Nintendo
Actually, you know what?
Switch
No,
2
Nintendo
edition
will
as
never
well.
port their games to PC. They'll
By
just
taking
make
advantage of the
their
power of
Joy-Cons
Switch
into a
2,
mouse and
you can
keyboard.
enjoy your adventure in Lumio City with enhanced
Oh,
resolution
man.
and frame rates. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition games you just saw will be available as both physical and digital versions.
Okay, that's nice.
And if you already own the Nintendo Switch version of a game, you can play the Nintendo Switch 2 edition by purchasing an upgrade pack.
What? I have to purchase it?
We hope you're looking forward
Aw.
to these Nintendo Switch 2 edition
I would purchase it if they would increase the fucking build limit.
I'd like to introduce a brand new game featuring mouse controls with the Joy-Con 2
Alright,
controls.
new game. Is it, let me guess, WarioWare? Click it or something? I don't know. Is this... Okay. Okay, this is new. Why does it remind me of ARMS? This seriously does kind of remind me of ARMS. Just, yeah. Look at their hands. They're so big. Drag X Drive. Well, here's a new IP. Oh, you can tell these characters will be customizable based off their helmets. That's going to be an uncomfortable for long periods to hold. It is an interesting concept, I gotta say. Wheelchair basketball. There you go. Look at that, he did it. You know, I'm surprised we can't... Why can't we just use our Mii characters? I'll be honest. Like, they could have easily added this as, like, a new Mii sports game. Summer 2025, okay.
In Drag and Drive, you'll use both Joy-Con
Drag and
controllers
Drive.
twice to intuitively pull off
Yeah.
various moves. We hope you're looking forward to a new twist on 3-on-3 matches using dual mouse controls.
So, do we have to hold it
Next, here
on
are
the
some
flat
games from our
surface,
publishing and
or...
development partners coming to Nintendo Switch
Oh.
2.
Either this has a lot of aim assist, or they're only showing the score. What?! No! Fucking way! Holy shit! Elden Ring?! Whoa! No fucking way! Are we getting a new... Can I get a Ranny amiibo? Oh shit, I'm not looking at YouTube chat. You know, I cannot wait for someone to use the camera feature to put their VTuber model in game. Yeah, it's gonna happen. Holy shit. Okay. Tarnished Edition. I guess I'm rebuying Elden Ring again on my Switch.
Hey, I'm
New
Greg
LP.
from Supergiant Games. Here to say that Hades 2
Holy
is coming
fuck.
to Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, wow, nice.
Our first ever sequel introduces the Princess of the Dead.
Isn't that still early access? Or are they finally going into their 1.0 version? You know what? I cannot wait for someone to use... Okay. Hades 2 is expected. Was Hades 1 on the Switch? Oh yeah, it was, I think. I've never beat the original Hades yet.
Later this year.
Street Fighter 6? Hey, yep. Street Fighter 6. Oh wow. You know, there's I'm actually quite surprised. We are getting way more like games that you would never imagine running on the Switch. It's happening. So yeah, that just tells about how powerful this. Oh, amiibos! Amiibos! We're getting amiibos! New amiibos! Yo!
Initiating arsenal boot sequence. Weapon safety mechanism confirmed. All operating at normal levels.
What is this? Oh, wait, is it Xenoblade Chronicles X?
Commencing launch.
I think.
After 2 long wars where our freedom was restricted,
No, wait, hold on.
we will finally be liberated from humans.
I'm in need of a new arsenal, new equipment, and money. I'm for sale. And
Oh wait, is this a new mecha game or is this Xenoblade Chronicles X? No, I think it's a new mecha game.
This planet will be ours.
Okay.
The sovereign axiom. The Trinitas has almost
This looks like Armor Core.
to destroy all humanity.
I'm not gonna lie.
Because we're in the middle of a war. Don't you get it?
I won't just stop you. I'll tear you apart. All children.
Oh, Demon Ex Machina. Holy shit. Wait, is this a sequel?
Hey, this is Joseph Forrest.
Oh my god. Hey.
Fiction to come to Nintendo Switch 2.
Nice to see ya.
It's a story about friendship. You play as Miyu,
Of course, this makes
and
sense.
Zoe, Rise Fantasy.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're putting promise a lot. I'll wait to see the performances like. If Street Fighter 6 has 1080p, but only 24 FPS, for example. I think they said 120 FPS earlier.
You'll be able to play Split Fiction on the day
So we'll
Switch
see.
2 launches.
At EA Sports, we're bringing fans together across the world, both on the pitch and on the gridiron.
We're launching FIFA 2.
FC will be coming to Nintendo
No?
Switch
No
2.
FIFA? No Madden. Okay.
Also be arriving on the Nintendo platform.
I know Scott the Waz is having a fun time now.
In the game.
Sure, they said that.
Avalanche Software. We are
Oh.
bringing Hogwarts Legacy to Nintendo Switch.
That's already on Nintendo
With enhanced
Switch.
graphics and seamless world
This is
transitions.
already on Nintendo Switch.
You'll be immersed in the Wizarding world like never before. And the new mouse controls on Switch 2 give you even more ways to experience the adventure.
Yeah.
Discover the enhanced magic when Hogwarts Legacy launches on the same day as Switch 2.
Oh. Okay. I've already pre-ordered this on PC. I'll be honest, the only reason I haven't continued my Hogwarts was a Hogwarts Legacy LP on my PC is because my 3060 was actually struggling at the game at launch because how unoptimized it was. I was running on the lowest settings, so yeah. Wait, SpongeBob? Wait, hold on. We're having SpongeBob DLC? No, wait, go back. You only showed that for a few seconds.
Hello, this is Christian Elverdam from IO Interactive.
Alright.
We are bringing our flagship title,
Hitman.
World of Assassination, to Nintendo Switch.
They're adding a lot of, like, AAA titles.
Assassin in the trade, Agent 47 does everything he can
That
to
is fascinating.
and how each mission progresses will vary
I really question if this gameplay footage is in game, like on the Switch 2.
will release on the same day as Switch 2. Plus, we are excited to bring another familiar agent to the platform.
What is it? Oh, wait, is this 007? Yep. Is it? Okay, it's happening. New 007 game. Wow, okay. I didn't know the people behind Hitman were making this. Project, I heard the rumors about this. Nope.
Is coming to Nintendo Switch 2, so stay
No, Amazon? Okay. No gameplay footage?
The story of light and shadow that
Darn.
never fades is reborn.
Alright. Oh, they're bringing back Bravey. Oh, they're re-releasing Bravery Default. Oh shit, I used to play this on my 3DS.
Default commands that help you control the flow of turn-based battles.
Oh, this is lovely. Because they have the sequel, and yeah. I always wondered when they would re-release it.
Upgraded features and advancements. And all new minigames with unique ways to play. Square Enix presents the classic fantasy RPG, Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remastered.
Oh.
Set foot in Luxembourg as a warrior of light.
Yeah, no, that's great. A bunch of launch day titles. Oh, is this, yep, Yakuza, let me guess, Kiwami 2? No, they're adding a director's cut of really? Yakuza 0. Dang. Yeah, because they released Kiwami on the Switch, but I think that was the only title they had. Okay, that's great. I mean, I would imagine Yakuza 0 would have been able to run on a regular Nintendo Switch.
We'll have more
Like they
games
had
to show
Kiwami
from our
recently.
publishing and development partners. But for now, we'd like to show a game
So, yeah.
developed in collaboration with Nintendo. Please take a look.
New... Wait, are they actually...
Who descended from the heavens,
Really? Is this a new Warriors title?
who dwelled on the surface.
This is Warriors title.
Led to a great and
They
prosperous
really got to
kingdom.
get the launch hype up of the Switch 2. Nintendo basically
But in
falls out
time,
of relevancy in the market.
terrible evil arose.
I don't think Nintendo really cares about relevancy in the market.
A war was fought to vanquish this evil, one which future generations would call
So, is this a
imprisoning war.
is this a sequel or? I'm waiting to see the Warriors gameplay.
Truly have traveled back in time.
Wait, do you get to play as Zelda this time?
So that's Hyrule Castle?
The story leading to is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
This really is the past.
Oh, you actually get to play as Zelda during that. Oh, it's a Warriors game. Yep, it's a Warriors. I knew it was going to happen. I knew they were going to give us a Warriors title. I fucking called it. I was waiting for this day. I haven't even played the first Warriors title. They're putting everything on the Switch too. Okay, you know, I'm okay with this. I didn't expect it to be, you know, during Zelda's time. Yeah, during the age of imprisonment. But yeah, that'd be cool. First one was fun, but I played it on the Wii. Yeah. No, they had like 3. This is their third Warriors game because they had like Hyrule Warriors. I think was it Breath of the Wild Warriors, and now Tears of the Kingdom Warriors.
We hope you're looking forward to the
They have to care about relevance. Nintendo gave up on the console race to take a larger slice in the handheld market. Well, yeah.
And now,
when you put it that way.
About Nintendo Switch Online. You can continue to enjoy Nintendo Switch Online.
Let me guess.
Switch 2.
A third expansion pack.
With Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack.
Or second, I guess.
You can enjoy a new membership benefit exclusively on Switch 2. Please take a look at this.
Oh, GameCube! Let's go! Yeah, something I predicted on my... holy shit.
We'll be getting a new classic game library exclusive.
Let's go, GameCube.
Nintendo GameCube, originally released in 2001. Here are the titles that will be available at launch.
Oh, Wind Waker. Okay, so not a remake, but I'll fucking take it. I'll fucking take it. Finally, I'll be able to play that. There we go.
The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Transcending history.
Soul Calibur, wow.
A tale of souls and
does this have... wait, does this have the Zelda? Was this the one with the Zelda crossover? Yeah, it is! Haha!
Enters the fray. Soul Calibur 2.
Holy shit. Oh, F-Zero. Damn. And this is with the expansion pass? Or is this like going to be an additional expansion pass we have to pay?
Machine customization and story mode.
Ah, wow. Chat, I'll be able to play games I never got a chance to play a decade ago. Or 2 decades ago. Wow.
Enjoy these classic games with clearer
all right, wow.
And higher resolution than
the
original releases. You can also check the controls for each title and customize them to your liking.
Can I hide the background where my icon is?
More titles will be
I know I can crop it out. Oh, Chibi Robo! Yo, Luigi's Mansion. They're not going to remake it. Okay.
Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo Classics, the Switch 2
I'm buying the controller. Wait, are they announcing the controller?
Pack launches the same day as the hardware's release.
All right.
And
in June. Yep.
Dedicated controller designed after the original GameCube controller will also be released.
I'm buying that.
It can connect wirelessly and also has a C button.
Oh, the C button.
The Nintendo GameCube controller.
It's all about that C button.
For Nintendo Switch Online
holy moly.
Will also be available the same day as Nintendo Switch 2.
This was a lot to unpack.
Whether you're familiar with the game,
but the GameCube controller was an ergonomic nightmare.
We
yeah.
hope you're looking forward to Nintendo GameCube.
I'm still going to get it.
Of course, you can continue to play select games from the systems shown here on Nintendo Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see some more games from our publishing and development partners.
Still not as bad as the N64. Yeah. What? Toby Fox? Is this Deltarune? Oh, Deltarune! They finally released all the chapters 3 and 4. Let's go. Okay, we got a Deltarune full release before Silk Song. Look at that! Isn't that amazing, chat? Oh my God! It's the funny skeleton man. Who I totally don't own a hoodie of. Oh wow, they added rhythm games? Okay, interesting. Yeah. I didn't realize the full game was 4 chapters. I thought it was 5. Available on Switch 2 launch day. A lot of shit is coming out. Okay, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit! No, it's not. No, it will never be back. It's over. Is that a loader bot? But that's what you said about the last Borderlands. They don't even properly lip sync him.
Hi, I'm Dennis Shirt from Firaxis Games.
Okay.
We're releasing a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Sid Meier's Civilization 7.
Alright, nice to see Civilization. I don't play these types of games, but hey, good for them, those who play them.
With the new mouse controls, players can enjoy a more intuitive gameplay experience.
Yay, the worst Borderlands. There's a reason why I kind of stopped my LP after 2 in the pre-sequel.
You can experience mouse controls on Switch 2 by purchasing the upgrade.
Okay, everything is a purchasable upgrade. No free upgrade?
I'm Lionel Jinx. And
3 was alright.
The final announcement for today is that WWE 2K is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Plus NBA 2K as well.
And also, it's like they recently had a horrific movie release. Yeah.
4 kids find this old tattered man.
Alright.
They went armed with nothing but youthful enthusiasm and a profound lack of preparation. Boom! Terrible at steering a raft. Let's slay some trees.
That's nice. Why is it frozen? Guys, why is it frozen? Is this supposed to be? I think someone's messing up. I think the footage froze. Can someone? I think it's frozen on their end.
Hi, I'm Dave Cross.
Hold on, let me what the? Guys?
Here's the first look at Enter the
Is Oh no, it's frozen. Oh no. Chat? Chat, is it live? Can you see into the Gungeon? Nope, it's dead on Nintendo. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Stop it! Live chat is losing it. Oh no! Imagine if they showed Silk Song. Okay, it's back. Wait, no, there's just showing Civilization. Wait, Frozen game oh my god. Delta Room. Oh no, they're showing the wrong footage. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Imagine if they just showed off Silk Song. Oh no, they are struggling. Oh no. Oh, they're showing the wrong footage.
Hello, my name is Adam Badowski from CD Projekt Red. We are delighted to bring the immersive world of the dark future to Nintendo players for the first time. Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh no, and it's during the Cyberpunk!
RPG set in nights. Thanks to Nintendo Switch 2, you can transport yourself to the city of dreams.
Oh no, they're catching up!
Get ready to meet unforgettable characters and discover engaging stories when Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition comes to Nintendo Switch.
Oh my god, I wish I could see it, but hey, thank you for telling me. Oh no, Square Enix!
Nintendo Switch 2で Final Fantasy 7 リメイク
Oh, they're releasing the Final Fantasy!
本作はミッドガル脱出までを描いた3部作シリーズの
Very refreshing. No!
20年以上の時を経て再創作された新しい FF7
FF7 Integrate? Oh no! Oh fuck, someone fucked up! Oh no! Just pause it! Pause the audio! Oh no, it's so okay. I think they finally caught up. Okay, they caught up. Oh, there's FF7. Apparently, I wish I could see it. Oh fuck. Oh! Oh! Silk Song! Yes, it was right there. It was right there. Oh my god, Yo. Brief mention. It's happening. Let's fucking go. Don't get excited over 2025. It's happening. They had a brief cameo. No one gives a shit about this game. No one gives a shit about that Star Wars game. I'm gonna be honest. It was trash. I don't like Ubisoft. It would've been hilarious if they announced their. I don't think they're announcing their new Assassin's Creed game. Oh man. Okay, these were a bunch of games that were already announced on the new Direct or the previous Direct last week. Okay, that's new. That kind of reminds me of Little Nightmares. Okay, Fortnite is already on the Switch. Okay, same. Yeah, we know. This game's already on the Switch. You know? Okay, that's nice. Okay, Tamagotchi Plaza is coming out in June. Now the creepy Pac-Man game. I will be interested in. I'll play it. Humans Fall Flat too. That was a new Professor Layton. Yeah, I saw that. I'm not too familiar with the Professor Layton games, but I think I briefly played a demo on my 3DS. What has happened, man? So much has happened. Holy shit. Is this... Wait. Resident Evil? This looks like Resident Evil. Is it?
Give you my blood. I give you my life. Turn. Oh,
Could be Castlevania? Oh.
And transport him
Oh.
to a night of moon.
That'll be interesting. One more. Yep.
To humanity's very dusk.
I'm sorry, it's just like the guy in the chair looked like Leon for a second. I was like, oh, is RE8? Or no, RE6? RE9? Is this cast? No, From Software. No. Are we serious? Are we about? Is this what I think it is? No, wait, it's not. No, it's not. It's not Bloodborne. It's not Bloodborne, chat. It's a brand new IP from Software. Wait. Yeah, I don't recognize these characters. Huh. Yeah, this is a new IP from them. Yeah, this is new. I wonder if we ever get Bloodborne on the Switch. Maybe PlayStation wants to share. Oh, what the heck? What's that Majora's Mask looking moon? Oh. Well, you apparently play as a vampire. That's crazy, the fact that the final announcement is a Bloodborne title. Is that a frog with tits? Huh. Oh, you even got summons?
Close your eyes and contemplate now the moon, as befits the soon to depart.
I want to see what this is called. Bloodborne 2? I don't think so. Oh, wait. Huh. Oh, you get a horse. A dinosaur? Wait. Hold on. Apparently you can play as different wait, is this their new Nightfall? No, wait, no, the characters are different in this. It doesn't match Elden Ring's aesthetic at all. Dusk Bloods. We can't have Bloodborne, but we can have Dusk Bloods. Wow. Huh. Rat. Okay, next year. Available only on Nintendo. Oh, From Software, Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive. Rat with wings, the Rat Man.
We'll be publishing a creator's voice article where the game's director, Hidetaka
Ah,
Miyazaki,
man.
will share more details about the game. So please check it out when it's available. That's all from our publishing and development partners. We'd like to thank the developers who appeared today, as well as our publishing and development.
You know, I'm surprised they didn't announce Red Dead Redemption 2 on this when they were showing off all those AAA games. It's not Bloodborne. Yeah, no, Dusk Blood.
Partners are working on many games coming to Nintendo Switch 2. We'll showcase more games in the future, so we hope you're looking
Hide your
forward to it.
tacos. Miyazaki is gonna put tea, poison swamps in this time.
Please take a look at this.
Oh, wait, there's more? One more thing. Oh, new Kirby game. I recognize that star. Why is it dead? Oh. There you go. Is this... Hold on. Why does it kind of reminds me of Smash Brothers? Kirby is struggling to get that star going. Oh. Jetpack on a warp star? Whoa. Well, that's crazy. Oh, okay, so it is a new Kirby title. Yeah. Oh, it's a racing game? Oh, wow. Yeah, it is. It's okay. Kirby Air Ride. Riders. Huh. Oh. Masahiro Sakurai. Nice. Coming later this year.
Kirby Air Ride, which originally released on the Nintendo GameCube
Yeah.
system over 20 years ago, is getting a brand new
Oh,
game.
okay. So this is a previous
I hope
title.
you're looking forward to Kirby Air Riders, directed by Masahiro Sakurai. Next is our last trailer for
Oh,
today.
really?
Please take
Oh, there's how many more one things? Yeah, okay. This is their one more thing. One more thing. I have a one more thing. Okay, I know it's not Pikmin, but they're doing another racing game alongside Mario Kart. Yeah, that's fascinating. Honestly. I don't recognize the character models. The new IP? No. Oh, Donkey Kong. Oh my god. Oh, look at his eyes. Oh, open world Donkey Kong game. Oh, wow. Okay, no wonder why I didn't recognize it. Yeah, new Donkey Kong, chat. You know, that's crazy. The fact that they're doing an open world Donkey Kong game. Wow, look at him. This is like the Incredible Hulk level of smashing stuff. Holy moly. Okay. Oh, this game looks like it's going to be a smash hit. Dang. Okay, he's riding the rocks. Capitalism has invaded Donkey Kong universe. He can no longer spend bananas. Now he must mine for gold. Yeah. I like how they're giving Donkey Kong a lot more of a, I guess, friendly look. It's an interesting revamp compared to how he normally is, like looking all stern and serious. DK game with terrain deformation, yeah. Okay, that is actually really neat. Mm-hmm. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Oh, that's good. That really rolls off the tongue. Ah, it's coming out later this year. Yay.
That was a brand new 3D platforming action game starring Donkey
I
Kong.
love those.
Called Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Hmm.
With incredible strength, smash through enemies, walls, the ground.
Just
about
God, this is great.
Demolish your way through a massive underground world. More details will be shared
I'm curious.
We hope you're looking forward to it.
Just yeah, because with the performance of the Nintendo Switch, yeah, man.
To recap,
I'm gonna hope my capture card actually works with this.
on June 5th.
It should.
Finally,
Typically, I
here
see
are
my
hardware
output.
options that will be available at launch. We'll release Nintendo Switch 2, as well as a bundle that
Mario
includes a
Kart
digital
World.
version of Mario Kart World.
Okay. I might
For more
get that.
details, please check the official Nintendo
I'm not
Switch
gonna
2
lie.
website.
I already have Mario Kart 8 digitally, so
Covered a lot of
yeah.
information, but that's all we have to share for today.
You'll have to wait just a bit longer for launch. We are very much looking forward to everyone being able to experience Nintendo Switch 2.
We appreciate you joining us today.
Mhm.
Thank you.
They never actually talked about the price. All right, I guess that's it. Well, look at that. Here, we can actually go back on the thing. Oh, there's Treehouse. Okay. So yeah, the Welcome Tour, Bonanza, Bravery Default, Kirby, GameCube. Okay, they're gonna talk about this stuff. Or is it Treehouse later or something? Is that it? Yo, the live chat's going nuts. What was it for? Was it $3.99? That was a lot. Man, that was something. They really pulled out all the stops there. Bring From Software to make an exclusive game. I'll be honest, it feels like From Software is the new Platinum Games for Nintendo. Yeah, that's honestly what it feels like. I mean, the fact that we're not only getting Elden Ring on the Nintendo Switch 2, but also a new IP exclusive to it. Wasn't From Software bought by Sony? No, apparently they got like a share or something, but it wasn't like a full buyout. Okay, that's it. So we're going to go over some stuff. We're going to talk about some, like, for one thing. Can we go over like the fact that they're giving us an open world Mario Kart game? They're pulling out all the stops here. Honestly, I don't know how many of you customers were here at the beginning, so I'm just gonna briefly show this off. But yeah, I do like how wacky it looks. Like, something about the characters just, I think it might be the shading of the art style. Still haven't heard the hardware specs or price. Well, they did go over a bit of the hardware. I'll show that off in a second. Okay. But yeah. Can I actually... No, I can't. Speed this up. Yeah, see, like, you can now grind on the rails. That is fast, and you can just pretty much just wall ride. It got LCD. Yeah, apparently it's not going to be OLED. Apparently a better LCD. I'm curious to see how it is compared to OLED. And apparently you can just eat. There's new power-ups that changes your look, which is actually a pretty cool thing. Okay, I did not mean to. I did not mean to stop it right here. And it got a micro SD slot and not a regular micro SD. And more storage native. A mic. Yeah, they're going pretty all out with this. But nothing was said on the processor or battery. That is true. I would love to know the specifics for those. Which are two questions I have on. Okay, so yeah, that was Mario Kart World Tour. Yeah, okay, I'm going to be honest. I don't think many people are going to use this. We have Discord. Unless you really want, like, okay, I can see them having, like, a Discord app or something down the line, because Discord has already been on consoles. I think it's on PlayStation and Xbox. All these bells and whistles are going to shit on the battery. I mean, I guess they would expect you to have it docked. We'll have to wait and see if the release performance actually lives up to the marketing. That is true. That is true. Man, you know, want to know fun? I didn't get a bingo, sadly. And also another thing that's a real shame that was on my bingo card is the fact that they didn't like have any UI themes. There was no UI themes announced. Now they could probably just, I don't know, stealth drop that. But yeah. Overall, I honestly was hoping to get more. So I mean, I guess the chat function is nice, but I was hoping to get something more Miiverse related, you know. But sadly, that's not going to be the case. And yeah, I guess we'll have to wait for Tamagotchi, the new game coming out. But yeah, the chat function is interesting. I can't see a lot of people using this nowadays. Like maybe if this came out back when the first Switch. Actually, no, people are still using Discord even when the Switch first came out. Yeah, I don't know. If it's a still decade-old mobile hardware, it's not going to be a decade-old mobile hardware. Chat. My ROG ally will still stomp it. Well, yeah, most likely.
Oh, nice. Let's take a picture here. Okay, are you ready? Smile. Yay.
Oh, yo, that's sick.
I like your pose.
No bingo for you. Sadly.
There's an additional button. With the C button, you can pull up.
I mean, can I count Mario Kart as the new Mario game?
Wait, actually,
does that count?
I got a call coming right now, so I'll be right back, yeah?
Okay. Here, you can quickly and easily mute yourself and more. And there's this.
Okay.
By connecting this camera
so yeah, this is the Kinect camera. There has been my issue with the Switch is the ancient hardware. Okay, there we go. Issue with the Switch is the ancient hardware. My phone is more powerful. Oh, yeah, that is true. Yeah, I would say world counts. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Well, good news, chat. We actually do have a bingo. Suck it. There you go. I'm only saying that because artificial cutie in the kick chat is just mocking me right now. If not if you had a Mario Kart game separate, no, it still counts. I got a bingo. I do not count the 3 seconds of Silk Song. No, too bad. It counts. If fucking counts. I gotta say, probably the only worst thing that happened on this direct was this hiccup right here. They're gonna have to re-release this direct later. I'm gonna be honest. I feel bad for Into the Gungeon though. They got their like cool animation snubbed, so they're probably gonna have to re-release that stuff later. That hiccup will get billions of memes. Yeah, it will. That's cheating. I don't care. I woke up like it's freaking 7 a.m. in the morning. I couldn't go back to sleep. Actually, no, I woke up at 6 a.m. Actually, I didn't wake up at 7. I couldn't go back to sleep because it was raining, and yeah, I'm still freaking tired because I only got like barely enough hours of sleep. All right. I am quite surprised how they're able to do like a green screen effect. Like you can see the pixels, right? Off the off the sides of the heads. All right, let's go to where they're talking about the performance.
Game share support is also planned for select games exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay, that's nice. So let's go back over the hardware. The same filter that Team and Zoom uses. I never use those apps. So it's a bigger screen.
At 7.9 inches.
Also, live chat is already inhaling the copium about Silksong. Yeah.
Switch 2 has a bigger built-in screen.
Okay, so we went from 6.2 inches to 7.9 inches. Nice.
Here's how that compares to Nintendo Switch.
And then we got the thickness.
The system's thickness
it's the same.
remains the same.
High definition display.
With approximately double the pixels compared to Switch, you can enjoy games in greater detail on the 1080p screen.
So 1080p on handheld. Keep that in mind. 120 FPS. And this is not even docked.
The screen supports up to 120 frames per second, allowing for smoother gameplay and supported.
So that's great. Vivid LCD HDR support. Okay, well, it's not OLED, but I'm gonna assume it's going to be an improvement over the original Switch LCD screen.
The LCD screen is more vivid and supports HDR, providing more contrast.
I'm going to presume the 120 FPS will only be achievable when docked. They didn't say that. Otherwise, they would have showed it off while it was docked, because they do go into where it when about the dock in a moment. Okay, we know the magnets.
Joy-Con 2 controllers connect magnetically.
Now,
magnets keep the controllers firmly attached to the system.
I really want to see the durability testing with these magnets.
Detach a controller easily by pressing.
Okay, so it's a new locking mechanism. They went from a single button that was like a little dot on the back of your Joy-Cons to a full-on trigger. My concern is the smooth gameplay of the 120 FPS is actually a follow-up to something like for 20 minutes undocked. Interesting. Bigger SL and R buttons. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. I could never hit these smaller buttons. I don't have small hands, chat.
L and SR buttons are bigger for greater comfort and control when playing with a Joy-Con 2 held horizontally. The left and right sticks are now larger. Each Joy-Con 2
You know what they say about a maid with large hands? I don't. Okay, so this is the brand new spanking feature that's going to change the whole like thing between gaming with a keyboard and mouse and gaming with a console. There are going to be like so many companies trying to like replicate this for PC. They'll be like, oh, you want to use your controller as a mouse? Well, just disconnect it from your controller and just, we'll just have like so many. Because like think about when the Switch first released and there was like so many copycats trying to do this. And then the Steam Deck came out. And then people tried doing what the Steam Deck did. So this is going to be a popular trend. I can't wait to see people try to follow the trend of like a mouse-like controller. And it's like we've already had those types where it's like they mix a keyboard and like onto the mouse. But yeah.
right Joy-Con to support mouse controls.
Okay. I never really had the issues with the audios outside my capture cards.
Audio balance between the ranges. Sounds from the built-in speakers are clearer and more natural in handheld and tabletop modes.
Built-in mic for easy voice chatting.
It has a built-in microphone. So
This microphone, it's nice to see the mic that they had back on the DS. 1 terabyte micro SD seems to be selling between $6.99. I mean, yeah, no, the 1 terabytes have went down in price. They used to be $100 back when they first came out. Mm-hmm.
Anytime via game chat.
All right. Oh, hoo, hoo! Ah! Okay, well, oh no. Oh no, oh no, it's gone. Oh no, they're re-uploading it. They're re-uploading it to fix that scuff. Oh no, I can't send my messages. They want to hide the gap. Oh, they're hiding it. Let's see if they re-uploaded it yet. Did they re-upload it yet? Hold on, there's a video. Okay, hold on. Nope, it's gone. It's just straight up gone. No, I find it funny that I just see like this big. Why is this here? Why is there a big subscribe logo? They're quick. They really are quick on that. Okay, let's skip to the part that ended up messing up. So some intern at Nintendo is gonna get fired. Yeah, someone's getting fired at Nintendo today.
And we have even
Okay,
more
hold on.
2K.
Oh,
Hi, I'm Lionel Jinx, and I'm Dan Bishop.
we can actually see this segment now.
Is that WWE 2K is coming to Nintendo Switch 2.
Plus NBA 2K as well.
All the sports games. Man. Okay, here's the part where that got frozen. No one cares. 2K skip. Yeah. Listen, Chad. The only people that care about sports games are people who don't play video games. I'll be honest. Hot take, but yeah. All right, this is the part where it froze. Okay. They're just gonna get. Okay. Yeah. Sports games are weird. They used to be good. In fact, hey chat, you want to see? In fact, you chat want to see like an interesting sports game? Like I know I should be sticking to the subject, but hey, do you want to see something interesting? Hold on, let me just show you. Just real quick. I'd rather play real sports. You know what I would rather play? FIFA 98. This, there you go. FIFA 98. Yeah. I can't wait for this to be released on the Switch too. Yeah, back when sports games were fun and goofy, exactly. I love this. I love how chaotic this looks. You know, this is the sports game I'm going to be playing. I can't wait. This is pretty much Silent Hill Stalker. This is so loud. But yeah. I just want to briefly show this off quickly since we're on the topic of sports games. Like, this just looks so fucking... And yeah, just your good old classic horror game being just outrageously violent. I just love the Japanese music they added. Just yeah, wait, FIFA 98. I can't wait for this to come out. Anyways, okay, back to the topic.
I think that's everything.
Okay, let's see this properly. Survival kids. I probably won't be playing the survival game, but hey, it looks cool. Okay, I'm so sorry about your scuffle. I will. Wow, look at that.
Here's the first look at Enter the Gungeon 2.
Oh, it's a sequel! Oh no! Oh, they fucked up! Oh, they scuffed it when they were trying to announce a sequel! Ah, I am so sorry that happened to you guys. Oh no, this is Into the Gungeon 2! Oh, they look so adorable. Oh, they changed the art style. They made it all 3D. Oh, this looks so cool.
To share more with you in the future.
Oh, I can't wait. I am so sorry. Oh man, they fucked it. What is this? Wait, is this Astroneer? Wait, is this hold on. This looks kind of like Wait, is this a sequel? Is this Astroneer 2? I don't recognize like some stuff because I've never seen like anything like livable like that walking carrot. Yeah, this has to be a sequel. Oh my god, did Nintendo scuffed up at 2? No, this is it's a okay, it's a spin-off. Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions?
Hello, my name is Adam Badowski from CD Projekt Red. We are delighted to bring the immersive world of the dark future to Nintendo players.
Oh man. This will test the limits of the Nintendo Switch right here. I can't wait to see the test this game has. Okay, I can pause. Okay. I am so curious about the performance test with Cyberpunk. Because Cyberpunk is one of those games that you could just bench test your PC on. So it's like, yeah, how is it going to be? They scuff both Devolver releases. Oh, man. I feel so bad for them right now. Cyberpunk last gen? I don't know. I don't know how they're going to, like, is this going to be, like, this got to be, like, it has to be physical, right?
Get ready to meet unforgettable characters and discover engaging stories.
Listen, chat. I haven't went back to Cyberpunk since the release date. Since I've been waiting for like updates, and in the meantime, I might as well LP some other games. Some soon. I probably won't be playing on the Switch, but soon. Soon you'll get Cyber Made Punk. I don't know.
Ultimate Edition comes to Nintendo Switch 2 on launch day.
After Phantom Liberty is very good. That's good to know. Oh, and here it is. They accidentally. Oh, it is remake integrate for the Nintendo Switch 2. Oh man, poor Square Enix. They scuffed their announce. Oh man. Would recommend. Oh, they scuffed the darling of Square Enix. Yes, they did. Oh no! Like I was waiting for Final Fantasy VII remakes to finish. Okay, here's the part where they finally resumed, and we were kind of confused at what happened. Oh yeah, this was like the new Capcom game. I remember this one. There it is. There it is. Eh? This is the same gameplay footage from 6 years ago. Is this the same gameplay Hold on. It just says 2025. It's going to be their year, chat. This is the same shit. This is going to be their year. Uh-huh. Okay, story of seasons. That's nice. No, it's a game where you play as a baby that apparently has telekinesis. Or, okay. Oh, Wild Hearts. I've heard about this game. Yeah, isn't this like that crazy game that I saw during like a Game Awards? I believe. Oh yeah, I saw this during the last Switch Direct. Oh, Puyo Puyo. Okay, Rune Factory. Okay, I might check out this Marvel beat 'em ups game though. EA's wannabe Monster Hunters. Oh, was that EA? Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Here, I can quickly go back. Hold on. No, it's Koei Tecmo, America. Wild Hearts is just Monster Hunter, but more complicated. Oh, is that what it is? Oh, right. I think I remember Wild Hearts now. That's the... I thought that got shut down. Or am I thinking about something else? 2025 will end, and then they'll say 2026 for the next one. Here we go. Uh-huh. I think after that point, I think it's just Hollow Knight's just going to become, you know, what it is, Hollow. Developed by Koei Tecmo, published by EA. Oh, was it published by EA? Okay, I wasn't aware of that. Never got much attention. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. I've heard that they added some updates that people didn't like. I really thought that game was abandoned. Alright. Now, it's honestly, it's cool to see another Marvel's beat 'em up. It's nice to see this genre again. No one gives a shit about this game. Ubisoft is desperate. Think about it. Ubisoft, they could have announced their new Assassin's Creed game. But you know, the company is currently like I think they're rebranding or something last I checked. I don't know. I heard they're just like remaking themselves from the ground up. And pretty much I think Tencent or something is going to be in charge for a good chunk of their titles. Yeah, it's basically abandonware. Okay, gotcha. Speaking of abandonware, they spun of a new IP division with Senten. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, so most likely the next Assassin's Creed is gonna probably not be made in a Western studio. I'm gonna presume. That's how I'm gonna put it. Who knows? Hey, it would be funny though. I wish it would be funny if I had time. If I had time, if I was a full-time streamer that could stream in the afternoon. Oh man. Imagine if I just replayed the Assassin's Creed and then stop after 4 and be like, oh man, it's too bad that they stopped making Assassin's Creed games after Black Flag. Just gaslight myself. Okay, this is the game I know a bunch of you customers are interested in, which I will also check out because I'm curious about this Pac-Man-like game. Because, I used to be in the Pac-Mania, and now it's become, I don't know what you call it, pack horror, I guess? But yeah. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this, I thought this was another Fire Emblem game. I don't know, something about the art style. And this game looks like Little Nightmares. I think this game was actually made by the same people. Is it? Wait, it's THQ. Hold on. I don't think so. But yeah, no, actually the aesthetic is there. Okay, Fortnite is already on the Nintendo Switch again. But yeah, here, should we quickly go over that new From Software game?
Good luck.
I want to see the comments real quick. Gotta say, copyright safe, Bloodborne 2. Not on my Switch 2 bingo. Copyright safe, Bloodborne 2. They can't make Bloodborne 2 because of fucking Sony, but they'll give us Dusk Blood 2. Man. Silk Song clip was the best part because of how quickly it made the chat go feral. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. You can play as the cow and I know a certain cow VTuber who's going to be very happy. I know. No price reveal. Yeah, I'm surprised there's no price reveal. I'm surprised pre-orders are not available right now yet. All right. Legally distinct Bloodborne. I mean, I'll be honest, looking at this again, this does kind of look like a Castlevania 2, Castlevania setting. You know, if like From Software was like in charge of making like a new Castlevania game. But yeah.
I give my blood.
No, I get Maiden's blood instead.
I give you my life.
We got Blood Maidens.
Turn a wheel
That's what I'm calling it.
and transport him
A
to
wheel.
of moonlight to humanity's very dusk.
Dusk. They should have called this Duskborn. Not Dusk, but they should have called it Duskborn. Oh, man. That would have been so hilarious if it was called Duskborn. But I get it. Duskblood. I don't know, maybe someday we'll, like, you know, it's going to go from like wishing for Bloodborne on PC to wishing for Bloodborne on the Nintendo Switch 2. Yeah. I bet they're going to probably release the other Dark Souls games. They already gave us Dark Souls Remastered on the Switch. So why not just give us the other 2 Dark Souls games? Just re-release 2 and 3. Make it a collection. Okay, I gotta say, it is so weird to see, like, because, okay, when you think of, like, From Software games, you would normally think of, okay, Armored Core is, like, you know, their game with, like, a bunch of technology and stuff like that. And it's like Elden Ring and Dark Souls. Oh, those are their medieval style games. And over here, we got, like what's the term? Not cyberpunk. Wait, is it cyberpunk? Victorian? I want to hear the actual hardware specs and prices. I doubt it will compete with most modern handhelds. I don't know. I doubt it, but hopefully it's as powerful as a PS4. That's what I hope. Steampunk. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, we have steampunk now. That's the type of vibe I get off from all of this. Look at this Majora's Mask looking moon. That'd be crazy if that's a boss battle. But yeah, I like it. Now, I'm going to assume this game is going to be like it's not going to be big and open like Elden Ring. Come on, that's going to take like another 10 years if they were to do that. So I'm going to guess it might be like, you know, I don't know how big Bloodborne was. We know that they'll cut corners PM cost by making it LCD instead of already implementing the OLED hardware. Yeah, that is true. Okay, so you can just jump, suck, and explore. This is a frog with tits. You can't tell me otherwise. Eh? We have a horse. I thought that was a dinosaur. I think those are air sacs. I know. They just look like tits. Now we got caverns and also summons, I think. Yeah, no, we got summons.
Rise and contemplate now the moon, as befits the soon to depart.
I pray that you are able, carrier of blood.
Interesting. We got like a Baylit like character. Yeah, it's literally a wolf man. Okay, is that a horror? Yeah, that is. Okay, come on. Come on. You look at this. You look at this and don't tell me this is not Bloodborne. Do you see this aesthetic? Do you were just a hunter from Bloodborne, but not in Bloodborne because it's not Bloodborne, but Duskblood. Bloodborne at home. And I don't know. It's the same company. Okay, you can summon dinosaurs. Got it. Okay, so pretty much they're taking the Elden Ring mechanic with summons and expanding on it. That's cool. Also, yeah, it's honestly, I'm actually quite surprised to see like a character like this. Like fast pace and such. Like yeah, you would see that with some Elden Ring characters. But like the aesthetic, like this is Chinese. I forget what century. But yeah, okay. I'm going to assume that this game's going to have different classes based off the looks of it. It can't be Bloodborne 2 because that would breach the contract. This is Born Blood. This is Dusk Blood. I'm still going to call it Dusk Blood. Dusk Blood sounds a lot better.
And one alone.
Oh yeah, that's the title, right? Duskborn. Right. Sorry, I'm still sleepy. I'm going to call it Duskborn. Okay, but Duskbloods were an actual thing. Were they? In which game? Vampires in Bloodborne were Duskblood. Really? So what you're telling me, this game is a spin-off? Hold on. Duskblood. Because just for context, I never actually played Bloodborne, so yeah. Trying to find it. No, I'm just getting the articles for it. Maybe if I put a space. I'm just getting moon cycles. Vampire or Dark Bloods. Hold on, I'm just going to look up Bloodborne vampires. Or Vile Bloods. That's what they're called. Vile Bloods. Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. Don't worry. It's close enough, honestly. Blood's at the end of the title. And then we got, well, it's no Ratman or Birdman. It's a rat bird. Okay. Next year. Yep. Pretty much.
What you just saw was a brand new game by From Software.
Yeah.
We'll be publishing a creator's voice article where the game's director...
Now, I want to go back to a Donkey Kong game. That's like one more game I want to talk about. Or actually, yeah, we already went over the hardware of what they showed. Battery life is going to be a questionable thing, especially since they're not like increasing the width of the Switch. That's what I'm wondering, because like you would think, you know, with a bigger battery they would, but they do have a larger screen, so they could probably fit a bigger battery in it. They could. That actually looks decent. A new Donkey Kong is a good idea. Honestly, you know what? Yeah, I'm surprised. It's no Mario Galaxy 3, Mario Odyssey 2. It's nothing like that, but hey, I like it. Like let's go over the beginning. Let's quickly check this out. So I wonder if this is going to be like a we're just rebooting Donkey Kong now, because from the looks of it, like you don't see Diddy anywhere or anything like that. No, you got like, okay, maybe one of these monkeys are Diddy, but yeah, I see. It's there we go. You got Donkey Kong now. He's working the mines. I love his new eyes. Like, I don't know how many people like Donkey Kong's new like look, but I like it. It looks so cartoony. It kind of reminds me of the really old Donkey Kong game art they used to have. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the game's gonna have a bunch of like cool destruction based off what it's like. It looks like you could just dig anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty similar to that art, indeed. It's nice to see a new direction for Donkey Kong, instead of like trying to keep doing the same thing. Yeah. Okay, so we do get a bit of like a platformer based. Okay. I'm going to assume that might be different sections of the game. So Donkey Kong gets an interesting rock ally from what it looks like. Mm-hmm. Dig or punch the floor. Pretty much. Yeah. Let's see. Donkey Kong Minecraft. Junior. JK. Donkey Kong or a country SKS section. Yeah. Banana. Alright. Did he got replaced by a rock? Yeah. Yeah. This is a new type of Donkey Kong. He wears pants. Like, you saw that? He wears overalls. Donkey Kong with Zelda aesthetics. Okay, you do get a bit of classic right there. You got the tie, no pants. So yeah. It's kind of funny. If Donkey Kong's wearing overalls, will they let him like a Mario-like outfit? All they need to do is slap a hat on him. That's all.
That was a brand new 3D platforming action game starring Donkey Kong.
Maybe outfits, probably. It honestly kind of reminds me of the way Mario Odyssey was.
With incredible strength, smash through enemies,
Yep.
walls, the ground, and just about everything as you demolish your way through a massive underground world. More details will be shared in the future. We hope you're
All right, that's good.
Thank
you. All right, well, this was crazy. Honestly. Besides that hiccup in the middle of 3 games. Yeah. Actually, with a hat, it makes me think of the old Donkey Kong Jr. Here, you know what? Let me pull it up. Honestly, yeah, you're actually quite right. Yeah, I'm looking at this here, like let me make sure I could show this. Like if we look at the original Donkey Kong, yeah, pretty much. They're giving him the round eyes, no more angry brow. Mm-hmm. We'll finally get to see Donkey Kong look happy now, instead of looking always either sinister or angry. Mm-hmm. I forget, how did Donkey Kong look like in the movie? DK Mario movie. Because I think they yeah, okay. Yeah, this is what DK looked like. So it seems like they're just heavily inspired by the movie aesthetic. Yep. Well, could be right. So pretty much this is just like a new Donkey Kong story. Just new origin story. He grew up in the mines. Mm-hmm. I'm calling it now. And it's going to be voiced by Seth Rogen. No, he's not. He's not going to be giving any dialogue outside his usual monkey sounds. All right. Let me actually go on their website and actually see if there's any more details. Let's see. Okay. There is some developer stuff. Okay, let's go over this. Why not? Please no Seth Rogen. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't mind him playing Donkey Kong in the Mario movie. He had a pretty funny voice. I don't know. I used to watch a lot of old comedy movies that had Seth Rogen in them. Uh-huh. The Kong yearns for the mines. Yes, just like Steve from Minecraft. That is actually what they're doing in the Minecraft movie. Funny enough, apparently Steve will always yearn for the mines. So I definitely will be getting this one. I'll probably unbox it on stream. Because I've never actually bought any of the Nintendo Classic controllers for the longest time. But yeah. Okay, so that's the part 1. I'm curious. Oh, how many parts? Oh god, they're out of order. Okay, part 1, part 2, part 3 and 4. Okay. Okay, so what we got here? Let's see. Got the introductions. Is this just a transcript of what was seen in the direct? I want to see if there's anything new. Let's see. What kind of specific things do you consider during the stage of the pre-seed the hardware development? Well, there's a dedicated game console that we created so that people can play different types of games in various places and situations. Fortunately, it is well received by many players. However, that doesn't mean the Switch is perfect. There are times where we wished the Nintendo Switch system processor was faster so we could provide new and unprecedented game experiences. I think the processor we chose to implement the Switch during the development was the best option at the time. However, okay, so they're talking about the first Nintendo Switch. However, as time went on, we began to realize that it didn't mean developers could make any kind of game they wanted with it. Okay, so they actually acknowledged that, hey, our original Switch is pretty old. They can barely even run mobile games. I'd like to ask you to share your views as a software developer, like Kawamoto-san. Were there moments that made you wish the processor speed was a little bit faster? Definitely. Hardware performance and software development always has been a relationship of pulling ahead and falling behind each other. What I mean is that when the new hardware comes out and the processing power improves, software development can also take advantage of that and take on new challenges. For example, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 3 3 was originally developed on the Wii U for it was created within the Wii U's capabilities in mind. However, the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, we created a world in the sky and underground since the performance had improved for the Switch. To add to that, the ability to fuse objects together and create new ones. Yeah, I was really hoping they would actually, like, not only, I mean, I'm glad you can share your creations online. That's something I always wanted. But also, the original Switch was weak when it came out. Well, I mean, yeah. Though I think, like, think about it. It was like, what, 2017 when the Switch came out? And what, well, it was definitely way behind, like, consoles. If you like 20 FPS. Yeah. Well, I mean, they were able to optimize their own games, but when it came to like other developer games, and I'm gonna have to admit, I never really played any third-party games on the Switch for the most part. Any game that is already on PC, I never really bothered playing the Switch version. No, they weren't. It's been a long time, so especially since I'm running the Switch OLED, and yeah, my current Switch is in Pokemon was less 15 minutes on regular. I never really played much of the Pokemon games. Like last one I played probably on the channel was it the Shining Pearl ones? And I didn't notice any dips, but it's been a while, so yeah. Okay, what were we talking about? Okay, where were we? We create a world, Sky Underground. To add to that, the ability to fuse objects. Okay, I already went over all that. Okay, there's some gameplay. However, software developers continue to take these kinds of challenges. Their technical capabilities improve, new ideas expand, and when they hope to do ends up surpassing what the hardware processing can handle. Hardware with an expanded processing capability is a blessing for software developers who want to challenge themselves to create new gameplay experience that are unimaginable today. That's it's first party. That's where I was coming from. Tears of the Kingdom regularly dipped bad too. That is true. There was a bit of dips. So hopefully with the Switch 2, although I've already LP'd the game to like my entirety. But yeah. Let's see. Breath of the Wild, game released on Nintendo Switch, March 2017. Man. Awakened from a 100-year slumber, blah, blah, blah. We read this. Home video game consoles released in November 2012 in North America. Feature gameplay link, the screen display. Okay. Right, the Wii U. Those are rough times. If they release a decent hardware, I would be fine. I hope. They're being really vague about the specifics. I see they decided to sow speed and prioritize improving the processing speed for the Switch 2. Software developers always try to get the most out of the hardware. On the other hand, the game consoles nowadays need to process so many things in the background. One example would be for downloading data for one of your games in the background while you're playing another game. You could never do that on the Switch. When Nintendo makes a game console, we don't use an existing operating system. 5 that's already out there. Rather than we develop one ourselves, this is because we want to provide a system that software developers will be satisfied with. To help software developers create what they want in the long term, we decided to create hardware with enhanced processing capabilities. Remember the N64 processing blew people's minds. I wasn't alive during that time. I didn't exist, so no, I wasn't aware. The Switch, let's see, basic system software requires to run various software on the hardware. So the Switch 2 system improves processing performance, has allowed us to realize the new types of gameplay that hasn't been seen before. To give you an example, in Donkey Kong Bonanza, you can experience the exhilaration of being able to destroy anything you want in the game without restrictions. In Mario Kart World, all courses are now connected seamlessly in a single world, so you can drive from one course to the next. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this Mario Kart. Oh, this is going to be great. I'm buying this bundled. Yeah. Because what this literally is just pretty much not. It's not even. Yeah, it's Mario Kart World. Oh, I don't want to say World Tour. They already used that title, but Mario Kart, like, yeah, I guess World, but was it like how what was road trip? I guess, yeah, Mario Kart Road Trip. You was and Nintendo used to be the tops. Well, we got Elden Ring coming to the Switch, so that's going to be crazy. I mean, considering how big Elden Ring is, I really wonder what the size is going to be for Elden Ring. It's got to be like what it currently is on PC, right? All right. Okay, so where were we? Let's see. All courses are now connected seamlessly in a single world, so you can drive from one course to the next. I am so hyped for that. In fact, hold on, let me double check the trailer real quick. I need to double check the release date because I got too excited. Oh, it's a direct. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Fuck. I was so excited. I didn't notice the word direct. Okay, so they're having a direct on April 17th. Okay, I'll be there. Probably not early in the morning. I'll be honest with you, customers. I cannot get. The only reason I got up this early for the Switch 2 is because, you know, it's the Switch 2. Mario Kart World Direct, I'll probably do it later in the afternoon. Anyways. Let's say you see key features of the Switch 2 is the expanding processing capabilities, which made the new gameplay possible. Nintendo Switch 2 is scheduled for a release in July. No specific date this year. Donkey Kong Advance through the Massive Underground World. Okay. Yeah, excuse me. Nintendo Switch 2 is scheduled to release in June. Uh-huh. So you increase the processing capabilities to allow new kinds of gameplay experiences to be created. Looking back at Nintendo's past consoles, I think many people would expect to see something more unconventional, much like the Wii. And the Nintendo DS has a control scheme unique to Nintendo. During the development of the Switch 2, was there any discussions about taking a similar approach? I mean, yeah, it's a mouse mechanic, pretty much. That's what it's all about. So let's see. From Nintendo DS to Wii U, we offered new ways to play, implementing hardware features that weren't typical for games or consoles at the time, and asked software developers to take advantage of them. However, the Switch, we made that less of a priority. With the Switch, we prioritized implementing something that could be used on any kind of software, such as the ability to play in both TV mode and handheld mode, rather than tasking software developers to create gameplay experiences that incorporate the hardware features. Just like we did with the Switch, we made having unique hardware features less of a priority for this console. Of course, we did consider various ideas. However, we felt that even if an idea worked well for some games, there'll be a lot of games where it doesn't. We're going to see Halo in a direct someday. I'm just saying. I mean, with the whole like new mouse ability that they showed off, yeah, we're gonna get a bunch of FPSs that suck to use on controller. Yeah, it's coming to the Switch too. Also, we thought a lot about whenever or not we would change the design of the Switch. A console with a screen and Joy-Con controllers on each side that can be played on a TV when docked. After considering new ideas, so they did consider just being like, oh, hey, what if we just made this a console again? Of course they will. Microsoft is all about all people can play. Yep. And watch. Okay, you know, what'd be hilarious. Hear me out. The next Halo game gets announced, and it's on the Switch too. Like what number Halo are we on now? Is it going to be Halo? Was it Halo 7 or something? I forget. Honestly, after they stopped labeling the name games after the number, I lost track. We decided it would be best to keep the Switch system design and not make any changes for the changes' sake. Okay, that's good. So pretty much what you're telling us is that, yeah, the Switch is great. We just need to improve the internals. Home video game console, okay. The Wii. Let's see. From a software developer perspective, we thought that what we'd want in a console, if we were creating a game in the past, Nintendo developed software that took advantage of unique hardware features such as the Wii Remote and the DSi dual screen. However, since the Switch's launch, I think there's been a shift in how the software developers create games. Rather than leveraging hardware features to create something unique, developers now choose which software technologies they want to incorporate to make their game stand out. My honest opinion as a software developer is that just because a new hardware feature is added doesn't necessarily mean the variety of problems will be solved, or at the new kind of gameplay experiences will be one after another. So, with the Switch 2, we improve its processing speed in the hope of it becoming a dedicated gaming platform with a strong and solid foundation that allows software developers to create what they want. There's been such cases such as the Ring Cons in Ring Fit Adventure, where often a unique experience to be included as an accessory with the game. It is well revised by players, so we wondered whenever the Switch 2 would really need a new hardware feature. So does this confirm if Ring Fit Adventure actually will work on the Nintendo Switch 2? It's Halo Infinity, so Halo will be Halo Infinity plus 1. We're going like Halo Actually, no, if we went from Halo Infinite, yeah, it would be Halo Infinity. Yeah, Infinity Plus. Just to be clear, we're not saying that Nintendo will never develop a game consoles with new and unique hardware features in the future. I'll be honest, I feel like they're kind of at a good spot right now with like, uh, a console that's also a handheld. Not to say that could be like the final form. Like, who knows what the fuck will happen in the future? Like, friggin' holograms and stuff like that. Like, futuristic tech. I mean, even like Valve has mentioned how with the Steam Deck, it's like, oh, until like, we get better hardware, this is pretty much as best as we can do for the Steam Deck at the moment. Of course, we read that. We made a choice. Also, I should probably bring in background music. I am so sorry. There. We made a choice at this time because rather than equipping the new console with new hardware features, we thought we would have an option to offer new gameplay experiences by packing additional accessories together with games, just as we bundled the Ring Con. Okay, so pretty much what they're saying is that we will still do the funny Nintendo Labo stuff. I see. So with the Switch 2, which serves as the base, you need to focus on the functions that are necessary for all softwares. Since unique hardware features can be offered later via accessory, that comes packaged with the game, and you believe software developers will have more possibilities to create unique games with those functions. That's right. If I can add to that, the Switch is a dedicated gaming console that packs in the best parts of Nintendo's previous consoles. You can play both TV mode and handheld mode. The controllers are detachable and have various built-in sensors. And I do think that the form factor has a lot of potential. Still, I feel that the way people play games in their daily lives is gradually changing. I don't know. So, one of our challenges this time is to delve deeper into the aspect with a new one, more powerful console, leveraging the original concept, blah blah blah. We should have called it the Switch Pro. We believe that the wonderful gaming experience awaits play. Do you think the reason why they didn't call this the Switch Pro is because it's not to confuse people? Like, think about it. It's like, if they're going to go like the same way, like how PlayStation has always been like, oh yeah, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Probably 6, where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to upscale even more by 1%. I don't know. I see. So the playstyle of a Nintendo Switch is a great potential. I mean, it's always has great potential. I mean, the Nintendo Switch was literally the thing that just created, like, it created the gap between console and, like, portable. Because for the longest time, when I was growing up, it used to be, I used to only have my portable game console, which was the DS Lite. I never owned a console until the PS4. And I don't really want to talk about my first game that was on the PS4. It was Watch Dogs. But yeah, just yeah. Like, I went from, like, what, DS Lite to 3DS, because at the time I had no idea the DSi had, like, Wi-Fi capabilities. I had no idea what the whole concept of what a, like, I was like fucking 6 years old or something, and it's like I had no idea what the whole concept of an eShop was. Well, what is this digital store? But yeah. I think it was actually until I got on Steam, which I actually understood the whole concept of an online store by then. I don't know, it was like, I think it was like 2013. I was trying to install TF2. All right. Let me check out the other articles, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so part 2. Let's see. Redesigning everything from scratch. Now that we've discussed the direction you took when developing Nintendo Switch 2, which element specifically has been enhanced? Okay, we're going into the specifics. This is what your customers want. Let's see how vague they get. Although we made various changes, one thing that's certainly noticeable at glance is larger screen size. Yeah, whoa, that screen is huge. While the console has the same thickness as the Nintendo Switch, not only is the screen size larger, but it also allows for higher resolution visuals, it's more vivid, and has a smooth display rate. In addition to the processor, we powered up various other parts of the Nintendo Switch 2 to expand the capability as a console. As a side note, the tech savvy among you might already be aware, but Nintendo has always developed each new gaming system with a focus on its system memory capabilities. This time we were able to particularly aggressively in pursuing increased memory size. Okay, we already know that. There's also an LCD screen. Well, yeah, the Switch originally had an LCD screen. They're probably doing this so they can release an OLED version down the line, which, I might skip out on that. Internal memory storage, and of course, each feature involves cost and memory capabilities, so we had to strike a balance when powering the system. The battery life is another factor we had to balance. A high-performance processor and a large system memory costs a lot of power, which reduces battery life. However, we were finding that balance that we also need to keep in mind that people will be playing on the go. We made various efforts to ensure the battery life wouldn't be reduced significantly, such as increasing the battery capabilities 1.2 times that of the Switch. Okay, there you go. It's right here, chat. For those who are wondering about battery, they increased the battery capability to 1.2 times of the Switch. What is the current battery capability for the Switch, like OLED? Or I guess we're talking about original Switch. Hold on, I'm going to check real quick. Okay, so... Oh, okay. So someone has already posted the specs online. Okay, so let's see. Storage, yep. Oh, okay. They're obviously having Bluetooth at launch. That's good. Up to 2 terabytes. I'll keep that in mind. Battery life, approximately 6.5 hours. These are rough estimates, depending on the game you play. Okay. You know, they really should have made it thicker. I bet they could have squeezed in a bigger battery if they made the console thicker, but... yeah. I don't know, maybe they'll do that with the Switch 3 in the in the next decade. Oh man. Let's see. Because the Switch 2 has been accepted by many players and players over a long period of time, in the way we wanted Switch 2 to be a dedicated gaming system with performances that can stand the test of time, we carefully considered the balance between processing capability and system memory capability, and we believe we managed to create a system that players won't feel is outdated later down the line. I mean, if this shit can run Elden Ring, yeah. I question how long you can play Elden Ring on handheld. Because we envisioned the hardware performances that would persist over time, we did impose some restrictions. Switch 2 games will have a larger file size, and in order to load data while smoothly processing the game, a certain amount of access speed is needed. For example, Mario Kart World. The players can drive the kart freely around the vast world, but of course, their destination needs to be visible. Therefore, it is necessary to use a micro SD Express card. Hey Shadow, if you're still lurking, can you like link me to like the biggest size micro SD Express card I can get? With faster transfer speeds rather than a micro SD card that was used until now, so that the large amount of data can read. Yeah, this is just going to kill regular SD cards. I'm calling it. Yeah. Let's see. But since the Switch 2 has 256 gigabytes of built-in storage, I don't care. You know, chat, when the Steam Deck came out with like what was it, a 1 terabyte version, or I forget, was it 1 or 2 terabytes? I just installed like a 1 terabyte SD card. Yep. Listen, I'm all about getting like more storage. You know, when there's a funny story. So like when I used to like only run like 2 hard drives for the longest time. I had like my main hard drive that was like what, 2 terabytes, and then my second drive for like 6 terabytes, and then my 6 terabytes died, and I after that moved on to SSDs, and because SSDs, I think the highest I can go is like 4 terabytes at the moment. Yeah, I just have like multiple SSDs in my PC. I got like 2 M.2s. One of them is my boot drive. Yeah, I was actually grateful that the lady in the shop did that for me. And also, I think I have like another 2. Okay, well, one of them I use for my game storage, and the other 3 are like additional backup storages, just in case. So yeah. Pretty much, I'm all about being loaded on more storage. I should really own like a server. You know, it's like one of those. I'll be honest, I was actually considering getting one of those NAS towers, but I really don't have the space for it unless I want to shove it underneath my bed. But then I would have to make sure the cooling on it is good. So yeah, I ended up skipping out on that. Okay, where were we? I kind of ended up going on a rant about storage. Okay. I doubt most people will need a. Nah, we will get it. I will buy a micro. I will buy like the biggest micro express card in the market. Hold on. I'm just going to quickly look this up. Micro express card. Okay. I'm seeing their express cards. Let me see. 1 terabyte. Okay, I'm seeing like 1 terabyte for 130. Yeah, that'll be fine. Actually, hold on. Let me look up how much is 2 terabytes. Almost $200. Okay. I'm actually I'm seeing 1.5 terabytes on sale, but okay, that's regular Sans disk. Okay, I need to get the extreme ones. Actually, hold on. I'm just going to look up the micro SD Express. I'm on like SanDisk website trying to see how big can I get these. I'm only seeing 256 gigabytes. Okay, hold on. Let me filter it. I can probably show this on screen. I'm not showing anything personal. I'm looking at on their official website. I'm seeing all the Nintendo license ones, but so far from what I'm seeing from the Micro Express cards, 256 gigabytes. Like I know that'll be like double the storage than what the Switch 2 has, but if they come in 1 terabyte, yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna quickly look it up. Interesting. Okay, I'll do some more looking into that later. So you struck a balance between inserting the essential elements in terms of home game system that's also portable while increasing the processing power as much as possible. We discussed the system performance, but how about the Joy-Con controllers, which are the symbolic of the Switch? Did you also make changes or enhance them? We made it bigger. We redesigned everything from scratch on the Joy-Cons too. I do like that. I appreciate this. Because I always thought like these bumper buttons were a bit too small. I got big fingers. But yeah. The control sticks are larger and more durable, smoother movement. We also made the Joy-Cons 2 bigger. Can they talk about the sticks? I want to know what's the new internals to prevent stick drift. I really want to know. We also made Joy-Cons 2 bigger and larger, the mass larger console, but if we simply stretch the Switch 2's, or the Switch system Joy-Cons vertically, they'll end up being very difficult to hold, as your fingers wouldn't be able to reach the L and R buttons at all and wouldn't fit the shape of your palms. That's why we lengthened the L and R buttons, rounded off the bottom corners, and experimented with various placements of the control sticks and buttons right down to the millimeters or less to arrive at the shape and layout we have now. Let me drink some tea real quick. I assume those aren't Hall effects stick. Hold on. I still got I still got this article up. They talked about, let's see, Switch 2. I fucking hate this mouse, by the way. This mouse, you see when I scroll down, you see it like goes up a little. That's because my fucking scroll wheel's busted. I'm buying, like, I recently bought a new mouse. Joy-Con 2 controllers. Let's see. Yep, that's thickness. Joy-Con L. Pressable. Let's see, acrometer, gyroscope, mouse sensor. Nothing about the internals? Okay, so let's see. Okay. Controllers can feel different depending on the size of the player's hands. So we sought out the handed developers within the company to hold the prototypes. I know a certain rabid VTuber that complained because they have small hands. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's hilarious. They sought out small-handed developers within the company to hold prototypes. We ask around, do you know anyone with small hands? Also, you can't just tell by looking at it, but the HD2 HD Rumble 2 for the Nintendo Switch 2 has been changed to allow a wider range of vibrations. The HD Rumble in the Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch has been able to create different sensations of touch, but because of the size of the Joy-Con itself, we weren't able to make the vibration strong as the controller for the Nintendo GameCube. We weren't able to make the vibration strong as the controllers for the Nintendo GameCube. However, the HD Rumble 2 that's installed this time not only provides a stronger vibration, but also feels more realistic and has a quicker response time. The hardware features for the Nintendo Switch 2 include the Joy-Con 2 are introduced in the Switch 2 Welcome Tour. We hope everyone will try it out. I probably will because, you know, I'm streamer. I play the thing for you customers. Let's see. Speaking of Joy-Con controllers, there's... Okay, one second. Okay. So, wait, originally... Okay. Speaking of Joy-Con controllers, this time they're attached to the console magnetically. Originally, we were developing the Switch. There was an idea to attach the Joy-Con controllers to the console using magnets. Using a magnet, you'll be able to attach and detach the Joy-Con controller right away, making it easier to share them. I think this is because when the Switch first came out, everyone was just sticking the Joy-Con strap the wrong way and getting it stuck. Yeah, if the customers haven't seen it, I think KoboCat has a good video about like the Switch, like at least the rough side of the Switch launch. I mean, I didn't really have a rough time when I first got my Nintendo Switch. I just took it out of the box and I never really used the straps. I just used it in handheld mode for the longest time. Originally, Joy-Con controllers with magnets. Using magnets, you're able to attach and detach the Joy-Con controllers right away, making it easier to share them. I took the prototype from Iwata-san, the company president at the time, for feedback, but unfortunately, Joy-Con controllers would wobble when attached to the console using the magnets due to the weak connection. We decided to scrap the idea as we were concerned it would make customers uneasy about using the console the console. Instead, we adopted the rail system for the Switch, which allowed for more stable attachments, but we always wished that we could make it more easier to attach and detach the controllers. Let's see, I wonder if they'll talk about Joy-Con drift. My team has continued to research the magnets since the development of the Switch. We weren't ready to give up on the idea either. We needed the controllers to attach firmly to the console so that they don't wobble. At the same time, we wanted to make it easy to detach the controller to detach and I'm messing up my words. We wanted to make it easy to detach and detach and comfortable to attach, even for children. And so we asked the technology development department hardware team the possibility. Laugh, but they went through a lot of trial and error, and we were finally able to attach it firmly and remove it easily with the light press of a button. We'll see it right here. There it is. Okay, so yeah, the magnets lock it into place, and it's less of a Nintendo Switch and more of a Nintendo Snap. We originally chose to incorporate magnets for the functionality and convenience, but in the end, everyone of the technology department team fine-tuned it right down to the satisfying snap. Yeah, like I said, it's a snap. Nintendo Snap. Although I don't think that would be a good name now that I think about it. They created the magnetic attachment because people were dumbasses and forcing the Joy-Cons down the wrong rails. Yep. I can confirm. Because I saw videos of it, people doing that. Not because I was one of those people. No, I literally told you, customers, I didn't even use... Like, I just kept it in handheld mode for the longest time before I started streaming. So pretty much after I started streaming, it's just in dock mode always. I recently got those Joy-Con clamps where you could just clamp your joysticks if you're not using them. Okay, yes, they're like nipple clamps. I'm just going to get that out of the way. I think this has become the key element to symbolize the Nintendo Switch 2. You only get a proper sense of it once it's in your hands, laughs, so I encourage everyone to try it out for themselves. If you've been nurturing the idea since the development of the Switch, you must have been passionate about this for over a decade. I feel like there has always been people at Nintendo who refuse to give up on various things and are tenacious in continuing their research. Even ideas that unfortunately can't be adopted at the time might have the opportunity to be realized in the future. Speaking of key elements, the Joy-Con 2 controllers can be used as a mice. Mice. Who says mice? It's mouse. Is this also a key feature that has been nurtured for some time? It wasn't the initial planning, but when I was playing a PC game with a mouse, the idea struck me that maybe the Joy-Con controllers could also be used as a mice. Nintendo Switch 2 was originally designed to support a wide range of games, and by improving the system processing speed, so with that in mind, I thought it would be better to play interesting games that require a mouse. This is going to help a lot of games that don't have controller support. Yeah. Implementing a mouse control that widely used nowadays in the Joy-Con controllers isn't that costly, and I think that's exactly what the lateral thinking of withered technology is all about. I thought it was a great idea, so I proposed it to a technology development department, and they were like, "Oh, we've been thinking about this for ages." Really, development concept advocated by Gunpei Yoko, the former general manager of Nintendo's research and development department, who led the development of various electronic toys, games, and watches and Game Boys, or Game and Watch and Game Boys. This was a theory that hit the products that could be created by taking widely used technology that isn't cutting edge anymore and then using it for new and different purposes. This belief impacted Nintendo's product development in the years to follow. Yeah. We assumed that it would come up eventually, so we need to keep an eye out on the technology that could be used to make it happen this time. I think we were able to propose a solution at the right moment. Using Metroid Prime 4 as an example, since there are two controllers, you can use the left Joy-Con to move the character around with the control stick, while using the right Joy-Con too as a mouse, aim and shoot using the Aw, man. I'm going to try this out. When Metroid Prime 4 comes out, I'm going to try it out in mouse mode. By using the Joy-Con 2 controller, we can make games like Drag X Drive, and we can even create gameplay experiences where two players use a mouse controls like Super Mario Jamboree. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. This is possible to enjoy a wide variety of games. Nintendo Switch plans to release in 2025 a completely new entry in the Metroid Prime series. Yep. I forgot, did Metroid Prime Remake use Gyro? I think it did. Nintendo digital only, a digital only Nintendo Switch 2 game releasing in summer 3. Okay, right, the 3-on-3 ball game. I can never escape the ball handling. Nintendo Switch 2 edition release, blah, 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 upgrade version. Okay, this is all this referential stuff. As you know, the Switch supports Switch screen supports touch controls, but it can also be used as in handheld mode and in tabletop mode. When you change to TV mode, the touch screen functionality is not available. Same goes for Switch 2. And I think the mouse functionality is also serving as a substitute as the touch screen, as I'm curious to see how the fuck a mouse cursor is going to look on my Nintendo Switch. Is it going to be like the good old like Wii U pointer, or will you think they'll actually give us an actual mouse cursor? That's what I'm really curious about, because they didn't really show what they plan on. Like, they shown some gameplay footage, but I'm really curious about seeing what it will look like. I'm going to assume it's going to look like the Wii U pointer, or not Wii U, I mean the Wii pointer. When you change the TV mode, touchscreen, same goes for Nintendo Switch 2, but the mouse functionality, I think, also serves as a substitute for touchscreens if it allows you to point to a spot on a TV similar to a cursor for the Wii remote, although it's not quite the same thing. That reminds me, when we were developing the Switch, we were wondering whenever to remove the touchscreen functionality, as it can't be used in TV mode, but the Iwata-san says, I'm sure there'll be games that will make use of it, so why not keep it? And so we kept it. And before, it has a Mario glove hand. Oh, man. Yeah, that could be possible. Actually, you know what would be even better? Let us just have new UI layouts that just gives us a unique cursor for said UI layout. I really want new UI layouts for the Switch. I'm so tired of this simple light and dark mode. Like, come on. Indeed, games that use the touch controls in handheld modes are difficult to control in TV mode. With a mouse, it's easier to ensure a constant gameplay experience between both modes. Speaking as a software developer, it's great to have options like this. In terms of controllers, is it just the Joy-Con 2 controllers that have been redesigned? How about the Nintendo Switch Pro controller? First things first, the Pro Joy-Con controllers and the Pro controllers from the Nintendo Switch can be used with the Nintendo Switch 2. Okay, you know, that confirms it. You'll be able to play Ring Fit Adventure on the Nintendo Switch 2. Because if you need to use the Switch 1 controllers, well, Hopefully your pair doesn't drift. I'm not gonna lie, I've been meaning to actually do a stream where I repair my old Switch controllers because I know my original Switch controllers I had were drifty after a while. When I'm talking about the original, like when it first came out, the red and blue ones. I actually do got a pair of like replacement sticks I could replace them with. Okay, so first things first, blah, blah, blah. But now we've created a controller that evolves further. Aside from the color, the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller may look indistinguishable from the previous controller at first glance, but it's also redesigned from scratch. In particular, the left and right control sticks are quieter and don't make noise. Really? Okay, let me grab my Nintendo Switch controller real quick. Here, let me just mute the audio. Oh, okay, or it already ended, but they said they're going to make this quieter, right? This is me just randomly mashing and moving the sticks around. You can hear it obviously on my mic. They said they're going to make this quieter, right? Okay. And don't make noise even when you move quickly to a ledge. Also, they glide very smoothly. We've taken to calling them smooth gliding sticks. Okay, well, they're not going to tell us what's inside the sticks, it seems like. Now that you mention it, I don't feel any drag when I move them. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, they're adding the side bumpers. Okay. I'll be honest, I'm not too much of a fan of these types of, because I always feel like I'll accidentally press them when I'm holding the controller. As they are calling them smooth glide sticks, we made an effort to reduce the feeling of bumping when you tilt them. In fact, there's been a long-running project at Nintendo with the grand ambition of developing the pinnacle of all controllers, and we've been researching it hard for a long time now. The grip handles at the time were designed with the reference of the Nintendo GameCube controller, with the base of the grip being thinner to give the fingers more space to move. Giving the fingers more space. We removed the seams around the grip part of the. Oh, okay. So they made it seamless right over here. I'm seeing nothing about Hall effects, just redesigning the sticks. Hopefully they don't drift. I really hope they looked into that. Let's see. With the base of the grips made thinner to give the fingers more space, we removed the seams around the grip so the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controllers so it feels better to the touch. We refer to them as seamless grips internally. Seamless grips. Okay. Also, Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller includes an audio jack, which allows you to use a headset mic for voice chat. Oh, wow, really? If you don't want to bother with those around you in-game or... Okay. You also had a new button. Okay, so pretty much what PlayStation had. Okay, we also had a new button on the back of the grip handle labeled GL and GR. You know, now that I think about it, I'm glad that they added a headphone jack on the Pro controller or the Switch 2 Pro controller. Because, yeah, if I struggle with trying to capture audio, because here's the thing I'm worried about. My current capture card I use is the Shadowcast 2. I wonder if it's going to, I mean, it probably will work the same way. But if I have any like issues with the audio, well, actually, I still have to like figure out a way to stream the audio to you customers. So, yeah, okay. I'll have to see how it goes. Hopefully it'll work. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to pray that Genki releases a new capture card with working software. I was lucky when it came to their Shadowcast 2, because that works pretty good with my current Nintendo Switch. I'm gonna have to like go check out their page after this, see if they made any statements being like, "Oh, hey, Shadowcast 2 will work with the Nintendo Switch 2 or something." I just need to see a tweet by them just to confirm. Let's see. So it's convenient that if you don't want to bother those around you in game sounds, we also added a new button on the back of the grip handles labeled GL and GR. Those two buttons aren't on the Joy-Con's 2 controller, right? That's right, you can find the GL and GR buttons on the Nintendo Switch 2 Pro controller, and the Joy-Con 2 charging grip are both sold separately. Wait, charging grip? Players can assign the buttons input, and they wanted them 2 new buttons and more. Okay, so you can assign these. What more is that the assigned buttons inputs are saved for each game. I mean, I guess they couldn't do this on a Joy-Con, so that makes sense. Let's see. So you can customize them by assigning the button inputs that you frequently use to them, or buttons that are hard to reach at the same time. For example, if you assign the capture button to the GL button, you can use that to take screenshots without taking your thumbs off the L stick. Part 3. Inherently added value. Now that we're talking about the Joy-Con 2 and Nintendo Switch 2 controller have been updated so far, we discussed the changes that aren't obvious at first glance. However, there are some more noticeable updates. I'm curious about the new C button. I don't care. I really don't care. I mean, hey, you don't have to use a phone app anymore. That's nice. Let's see. Yep, they're talking about the smartphone app. It was difficult to implement because they didn't have a built-in mic on the device. So we decided to offer it via smart devices. With the Switch 2, we were able to include it as a standard feature on the device. I'm sure many of you have experience with playing games together as children or a friend's house or in a student lounge when everyone brought their own consoles, and we wanted to recreate the feeling online, something that you'll play games together, but there are also times when everyone's gathered together when they were each other playing their own game. Yeah. That's nice. Yes, I remember it being quite common to see children gathering in the park to play Pokemon or Game Boy. I remember it used to be common for us to play, like, crack open our DS lights, and one of us boots up a game, and then we join in via the wireless play feature. Let's see. It's time like this. You can chat with others. Okay. Okay, just going to go over the game chat. When the software developers heard about the new chat feature, what do you see potential in it? Let's see. Without additional effort, software developers also lead to discover completely different ways to game. For example, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was originally developed with the Wii U home console, making it available on Switch. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of like mumbling. I'm kind of just like skimming this right now. It's essential to have a feature that software developers can benefit without any additional effort. As the video game conference has become more common throughout the world in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, more diverse demands expect for video call systems. Yeah, after that outbreak, pretty much there's been more online-based stuff. However, when deciding on the game chat's feature, which is the most demand we could meet, we had to be careful, as devoting too much processing power to the game chat would affect how much power is left for the game. Fortunately or unfortunately, we had a group of fussy software developers who were very vocal with us, so we were trying to strike a good balance. I think our company has a workplace culture where developers can devote themselves to create unique Nintendo products because they don't hold back when sharing their opinions with us. This is going to drain your battery. Don't use the voice feature if you're not using it on dock mode, pretty much. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting from this. The software and the system developers started to discuss how many... excuse me. The software developer talk about processing power would be spent on the software versus the system, almost like a budget negotiation. You're right. The software developers would say we want all these features, but the system resource budget of 0, and the system will just make the console a bit more thicker. But I'm afraid we can't work with the. Yeah, I guess they want to keep it slim. There's a tug of war between the software developers system and trying to achieve their version. But as we tried out prototypes and communicated with each other, we started to get a feeling for how much processing capabilities and memory we need for particular levels of functionality, and where we should allocate more budget, though such as repeated efforts were able to reach a common understanding of which features were worth including based on how much of a system processing power they could use. After these tug-of-war negotiations, they reach the outcome you're hoping for? Various professionals went through the trial and error to achieve the best outcome. I think it turned out to be better than the original proposal I came up with. If you connect the Nintendo 2 camera to a Switch 2 accessory that's sold separately, your face will appear on your game screen. What I found interesting was that this makes you feel a bit more like a live streamer. Ha 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 ha. I think the kind of pleasant moment was not something we anticipated. It was an early stages of just say one of you guys had a Connect. Come on. Feeling like a live streamer sounds fun. But whenever you're streaming or just chatting with others, it seems like a microphone would play an important role. Yes, I can do this. Oh, okay, I'm not going to eat the mic. Yes, so there are so many twists and turns, especially when deciding where to place the microphone should have. We have it in the Joy-Con 2 console on this is pretty much similar to where they put the mic on the DS, except that it was at the bottom. But if you consider what the DS looked like when you folded it, yeah, it would consider like the similar, you know. We considered how people would place the dock and position the cooling fan. We ultimately decided to build on top of that. Do they have a mic in the controller? The device also contains a high-performance audio processing chip with unwanted noise. That means the sound of pressing buttons and the console cooling fans won't be heard by those you're speaking through the microphone. You can hardly hear the noise of a vacuum cleaner. Wow. Even if your parents are vacuuming next to you while you're playing the game at home, couldn't you just move to another side of the room? Those you're chatting with will barely be able to hear it. First time I've tried listening out for the sound of the voice chat is pretty surprising. I thought myself, what? Was there a vacuum on? Wait, do you have noise canceling headphones? Oh no, you're right. Hold on. First time I tried listening out for sounds in the voice. You were listening to sounds in the voice chat. Okay, I got confused. Software developers' requests regarding those noise cancellation features also intended. They also wanted the vacuum cleaner noises to be minimized, but they didn't want the players' excitement, such as the applause or cheers, to be canceled out. Interesting. Okay, will this work? More than one person speaks into the same microphone. Multiple people can speak into the same microphone. I mean, you just got to be close. I'll be honest, I don't feel like many people's going to use this. Like, we live in a day and age where everyone's on Discord. Skype is dead. Yeah. Just like switching wait, hold on. Look forward to the opportunity of interviewing with other developers who are deeply involved with it. Speaking of the features that bring excitement, multiple players, the major feature Switch 2 was sharing Joy-Con controllers with others. How is this feature changed in a new console? This feature where you can share one of their Joy-Cons with the other. This is the same thing the original Switch had. Just like the Switch, it's just like the Switch. But then we were developing the Switch. We wanted to implement the feature to share gameplay with other systems. In addition to sharing the Joy-Cons in the past, Game Boy Advance and Nintendo DS had a feature called Download Play. I remember this, where you could send a portion of the game to a friend to play together. We looked into the possibility of having this feature on the Switch, but the data volume of the Switch games is so large, it would take a very long time to transfer data. So we had to abandon this idea. Okay. No, that makes sense. Those DS games are pretty small. Having to wait 10 minutes to play a game together isn't very practical, so we thought about taking advantage of the Switch 2's processing power and using the same streaming technology that the Wii U uses to send images from the console to the handheld Wii U gamepad. You could share the gameplay instantly without having to take time to transfer the software. I thought it would be nice for if players could share the games instantly and play together competitively or cooperatively. This was another feature I asked Sasuke-san to look into. Achieving it must have been a nightmare. I would imagine. Nah, I figured out something like this might happen. Was there something that you were really looking forward to before you received the request? Indeed, those of us at the technology department want to be able to say we thought you'd need something like this when a new request comes in. So we're always researching and developing all kinds of things in advance, such as the wireless streaming feature that enables players to share their games via streaming. Is something that we've been researching for a long time. We realized we could achieve this by taking advantage of the latest technology in wireless streaming communications, which in turn allows us to come up with a new way of sharing games. I remember this, I think PlayStation had it a while ago. It was like a share together, so you could actually play like for example, like a Lego game that has co-op. I was opening a water bottle. I did not expect to do a lot of reading with my lack of sleep. I thought I was just gonna be hyped and yell at Nintendo games. Game Share is a feature that's only available on the Switch 2. Well, that's interesting about that is that using Game Share locally, some games can be shared on both multiple Switch 2 and Switch consoles. So both? So does that mean that the Game Share Switch 2 and the Switch owners can experience the Switch 2 games together locally? Exactly. Even if you decide to purchase the Switch 2, your old Nintendo Switch could still come in handy. In addition, you can share the games online using Game Chat. If one person has a game, up to 4 players can play it together while using the voice chat, and Game Chat is a feature that is exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2. So online Game Share will only be available among the Switch 2 consoles. That makes sense. So from what I've heard so far, it sounds like you achieved a lot of things fairly smoothly, but that was really the case. Smoothly would be a gross exaggeration. Oh, they struggled. There will be a gap between research and turning it into a product. It's not enough to be confident that certain technology has a potential and could be used in a product. We need the process with that development while keeping in mind that the kind of experience we had to offer with the technology. It wasn't an easy thing to do. The quality of the game image reduced when it's transferred using the streaming technology. So the team tried to figure out a way to maintain the quality as much as possible without trial and error. Also, with Game Share, there are games where it's better if the players aren't shown the same screen. So we create a feature that enables each person to see a different screen, even if they're playing together with one copy of a game. For example, when a player is playing a game and Mahjong in the Clubhouse game World 51 Worldwide Classic, each player is shown a different screen because it wouldn't work if everyone was shown the same screen. So the Game Share, you can play cards or Mahjong with players locally or those connected online via game chat right away. Will Game Share be only available in certain games? That's right. Game Share is an exclusive feature on the Nintendo Switch 2 that is still compatible with games, but Game Share can only be used with compatible games that have features. Pretty much, if a game has co-op, you'll be able to do this co-op online with a friend. Lickety split. Game Share may not be suitable for certain games due to their responsiveness. You wouldn't want to have that on a single player game. For example, it may not be ideal for games that require a precise timing or button input, such as rhythm games. As for Nintendo games, we chose, okay, yeah, the other person's going to get some lag spikes. I see. From what I'm being told, I get the impression that the infinite receptiveness of Sakurai-san team, who are ahead of the curve, a lot of things legendary. Did they go over the dock? Did I skip that part? Hold on, we're on part 4. Let me go back real quick. Let's real quick go back to the dock. I'm trying to remember where it last was. Okay, here it is. When did they talk about the dock? Okay, here. Oh, did they move the Ethernet port up there? Oh, okay. Oh, wait, is that?
4K resolution. Switch to dock to connect to your TV and enable.
No, that's a connection point. Oh, wait, is it down? Oh, it's down. Okay, I am blind. HDMI out. Wait, what does that say? Okay, got it.
Up to 4K resolution for compatible games. HDR is
I like how they made it rounder.
also supported in TV mode.
Okay, that's nice. I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't go on the 4K. I'll just probably stick to just HD 1080p. Okay, let's go back to part 4. We're almost done. This is the final article. Let's see. New standard. So for those who already own a Nintendo Switch game, will be delighted that they can play them on the Nintendo Switch 2. Did you already decide the functionality when you were first planning on development a new dedicated game system? Right from the beginning, we wanted a new system be able to play Nintendo Switch games, but back then we were told that they would be technically challenged. When we first started Nintendo Switch 2 development, the focus was enhancing the performance as hardware, namely expanding capability, so compatibility was a low priority. For example, Nintendo DS games were playable on Nintendo 3DS, and Wii games were playable on the Wii U, but it was difficult to achieve the same level of compatibility with Switch 2 because hardware design's approach was different for those systems. Okay. They're pretty much confirming that, yeah, don't expect DS games to Wii U games on the Nintendo Switch 2. Even though those have been perfectly emulated, but just... we can't talk about that. It's tricky to explain. Maybe the easiest way to understand the methods used to achieve achieve compatibility between the DS and the 3DS is between the Switch and Switch 2 are completely different. Simply put, those systems were compatible because Nintendo 3DS contained Nintendo DS hardware, and the Wii. And do you know what they forgot to mention? Between not GameCube, I meant Game Boy and DS hardware, they used to be compatible, but then they kind of got rid of that. And the Wii U contained the Switch hardware. However, the Switch 2 doesn't contain any Switch hardware. Wait, Switch 2 doesn't contain Switch hardware. Does that mean the Switch 2 and Switch and Switch 2 aren't compatible at the hardware level? Exactly at this time, we decided to take a challenge of using a new technology to run the Switch games. We tried to use technology like software emulators. Really? We'd have to run the Switch 2 at full capacity, but that would mean the battery wouldn't last long, so we did something that somewhere between the software emulator and the hardware compatible. This is so weird hearing emulators from Nintendo, because they usually hate that and usually crack down on it. Just saying. This is getting a bit technical, but the process of converting games data to Switch to run on the Switch 2 is performed on real-time basis as the data is read in. Is it like having Switch games simultaneously transferred to the Switch 2? That's right. Although we've made technology preparations at first, we weren't quite sure whether you'll be able to maintain the proper compatibility. But the new feature like the game chat is available not only for the Switch 2 game, but also for the Switch game. Well, not only for the Switch 2 games, but also for the... God, can I just call it Switch Pro at this point? Okay, I thought it would be easy. It would be create chemistry that would enrich the gameplay and add complete new experiences. So with that in mind, we decided to we wanted the new system to run all Switch games as far as possible. We couldn't achieve that. I wouldn't feel like a worthy successor to the Switch. It would feel like worse successor to the Switch. Being able to say Switch games will run on the Switch too was one of the goals we wanted to aim for. We consulted Sasuke-san again with everything. It would be great to work. It would be great if it works, but also, what do you think? And even Sasuke-san was like, I don't know about that. There was some games that ran well on the Switch system due to the hardware configurations. Switch 2, on the other hand, has increased the processing capabilities and an expanded memory capability that would theoretically cause some of those games to stop working. So we weren't so confident at first, but we are testing games one by one. We found out some issues that could be solved by making improvements. This process helped us build confidence. While we might not be able to solve everything, we can work out for many games. Does that mean you're checking each game from huge libraries like Nintendo Switch style to make sure they're all compatible? Oh yes, we're checking them all one by one, more than 10,000 games in total. That's a lot of games. 10,000, that's a huge number. Even though all those it might not be all that Nintendo or all that Switch games run perfectly in time for the launch of the Switch 2. Okay, so they're going to have a huge game library because, yeah, you got the games that worked for the Nintendo Switch, and it's like, we're not going to like lock you from those games. No, we're not going to do what PlayStation did at one point. You're still going to be able to enjoy your Nintendo Switch games on the sequel. But we will continue the efforts that we can support as many Switch games as possible. Of course, it's not physically possible to support certain games like Nintendo Switch Labo. Okay, I'll be honest, Nintendo Switch Labo and the Toy-Con VR kit, which were designed to fit the dimension of the Switch hardware as the size don't match. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll be honest, those things were like, oh yeah, that's cool to play for like a week, but then you kind of just end up, I don't know, tossing it in the closet and then you just forget about it. I never actually owned any of these, but I'm just saying. The series is okay, yeah, I already know this. We assume that players will think it's natural for Switch games to run the Switch 2. Of course, we thought that it should be that way too. So in order to achieve that, somehow we challenge ourselves to implement a new solution. You mentioned new technology that's used to achieve compatibility, but there are stimulations where playing Switch games on Switch 2 will enhance the gameplay experience. We tried running Switch games on Switch 2. There were some loading times there were some loading time becoming faster, or game performance becoming more stable. We realized that overall gameplay experiences could be improved, and mentioned previously, Game Chat will also be available on the Switch games that were played on the Switch 2. Previously released games that were there are opportunities to add value in the sense that it can enhance and change the gameplay experience. We understand that people buy new hardware so they can play new games created on it, so we developed the Switch 2 with that in mind. Yeah. That reminds me when I first bought my first iPad during Black Friday. Was it last year? I think. Yeah, it was 2024. And yeah, I bought it so I could actually be able to like try out drawing on it, and I've been drawing on it almost every single day. However, it is safe to say that the Nintendo Switch 2 is a system with the new strength and sense that it will add value to Switch games that players already own. Okay. We'll take advantage of those strengths in the future. So pretty much I'll be continuing my backlog when the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out in July. I'm kidding. I'll play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or something. In the meantime. Let's see. We believe that there are many things that we can do, such as making Switch games. Also, I realize, I'm sorry, my background noise has been gone for a while. Here. We believe that there are many things that we can do, such as making Switch 2 games compatible with the game share through free updates. Okay, so there are free updates. It's not paid. As well as leveraging Switch 2 processing power to enable games to run higher resolutions with a smoother frame rate. Yes, we are preparing function that can be used to easily transfer Switch data to the Switch 2 using their Nintendo account. This transfer from the Switch to the Switch 2 is actually the first system transfer that moves the account as a whole. Before Switch, players need to create a new account for each hardware generation. Since we established Nintendo accounts to support the Switch, we made various efforts to expand beyond the dedicated gaming system. I think it's natural for our customers to assume that those accounts that they've been using for various purposes other than gaming can be used on the new system. Nintendo accounts were linked to the customers' important information. We believe our mission is to treat them with care. For our customers, also crucial that their accounts and data that they were used until now, they can be transferred without any loss. We'll be working to ensure that the transfer is secure and stress-free as possible. Speaking of transferring, I expect people who buy the Switch 2 will already own a Switch. Yeah, that's like when you bought the new 3DS XL. They didn't include a power cable because they assumed everyone already had one. Which, yeah, they were right. Yeah, they're right on that. Speaking of transferring, I expect many people who buy Switch 2 or already own a Switch. They might be wondering which system they could use to play their digital games, but the virtual game cards, they can load and eject digital games between the Switch and Switch 2, just like they would with a physical game card. This feature was also used among the Switch systems, as well as the Switch 2 systems, who originally developed it with the idea in mind that players will continue to play both Switch and Switch 2 after the Switch 2 is launched, so they can continue to keep using both. This still confuses me, honestly. Mainly because like majority of my Switch games are physical. So if you use the virtual game cards, you can also do things like leading your digital games to other family members. Apart from this, there are also some other features returning to Nintendo Switch that benefits from the Switch 2 experience capabilities. Thanks to the system performance capabilities, Nintendo eShop on the Switch 2 has been improved to run smoothly than ever. I'm gonna be honest with you, customers. The Nintendo eShop, unless you're using the touchscreen function, it was a laggy piece of shit. You would like try to scroll down and it would take a second to load. So I'll be definitely keeping an eye out on the performance on that. We believe the act of finding games that you want to play itself as part of the game system, it was slow. Also, there's a feature on Nintendo eShop called the Game Finds for You, which lets you quickly see screenshots and watching directions. Okay, typical. With this feature, I think players will be able to easily find something interesting. Okay, well, it's like I want to say it's like the Steam community boards, but I don't know. I think it was a big deal for us with that improvement in system processing capabilities. We're able to take goals one step forward. First, we prioritized making system appealing as many players as possible, and we shifted our focus to improving the player's experience. The team came together to create something with that goal in mind. Oh yeah, I avoided going into the eShop because of how laggy it was. It was so laggy even when it was docked. I never go into the eShop when it's docked. I always just pulled it out and just used the touchscreen feature to scroll. Ugh. This is why I rarely use it to buy digital games. The only type of digital games I ever bought was like Mario Kart, Splatoon 3. Pretty much just games that I would just casually load up, like Animal Crossing. Although Animal Crossing, I really wish that game could get a mass overhaul. I'm not gonna lie. Just give us like another DLC, please. It's been like fucking 2 years at this point. So far we talked about the advances the Switch 2 brings, such as a larger screen, the processing speed that enables various gameplay experiences, the Joy-Con 2 controllers which have been redesigned from scratch and compatible with the Switch, and the compatibility with Switch. However, we haven't touched on the name yet. How did you land on the name Nintendo Switch 2? There's a lot of ideas. We struggled to... Okay, here we go. Here we're talking about the naming convention. Finally. We considered ideas like Super Nintendo Switch. However, Super NES, which came out after the NES, couldn't play NES games. Since the Switch 2 can play Switch games, it didn't feel right to use the same naming convention as Super NES. Switch 2 is a new system with improved performance, but we would like players who get their hands on it not to focus on the specs, but rather to think of the latest system developed by Nintendo. So, in hopes of that, it become a new standard for Nintendo Switch, to name it Nintendo Switch 2. And this is how it's going to be from now on. Yep. Every single decade, we're going to go from Nintendo Switch to Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 3, Nintendo Switch 4, 5, and that's it. I mean, honestly, reading this is just pretty much confirming that Nintendo just wants to combine their consoles and handhelds together forever. We never want to keep them separate ever again. We're never going back to the era of like DS version games over the console version of the game. Oh, some of them were good. I'm not going to lie. Lego City Cop Undercover. Maybe someday I'll play the PC version. But I used to play that 3DS version. Hey, that was pretty good. Surprisingly for a 3DS game at the time. Yeah, so, let's see. That's right, from the very beginning of development, we wanted Nintendo Switch 2 to be a system that can be enjoyed by a variety of players. That hasn't changed from Nintendo Switch 2. I also wanted to create an experience. You know, funny thing, they never mentioned Nintendo Switch Pro. I guess they really didn't want to, I think they just didn't want it to be grouped with the regular Nintendo Switch. Like, it didn't want to be, like, in the same category as Nintendo Switch OLED, and Nintendo Switch Lite. You know? You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Rather than the experience made for specifically those who prefer the performance hardware, we want to a name that would communicate the simple to potential customers that if they are considering buying Nintendo Switch 2, it's the newest. Yeah, pretty much. So the parents that are like, oh yeah, can I get the? If they say Nintendo, if they don't realize the difference between a Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch Pro, they're better off just naming it Nintendo Switch 2. Like, think about it. It's like, oh man, I'll take the Nintendo. Yes, the Nintendo 2. That's how it's going to be. I thought the name was simple and easy to understand since the development began. The idea of the Switch 2 would be a proper successor to the Switch. Yeah, no, that makes sense. I guess they didn't want to do the whole like 3DS, new 3DS, new 3DS XL, and stuff like that. They didn't want to call it the new Nintendo Switch. I think they probably thought afterwards the naming convention of like new is just stupid. Because how long can a product become new, you know? We struggled because there were so many difficult ideas, but in the end, to a lot of back and forth, we agreed it would be Nintendo Switch 2. All right, thank you. That's how to the name came to be. To conclude, I ask how'd you like players to enjoy the Switch? Okay, here we go. We pack the technology development team devotion into every aspect of the hardware, the system software, and the Nintendo service with the hope that everyone will enjoy playing new games or the new dedication gaming system for Nintendo. After all, the games are fun, so we just wish for everyone to generally enjoy the Nintendo Switch 2 without worrying about the technical details. We want you to we want you guys to stop telling us that we can't run mobile games on our Switch. So here you fucking go. Never ask for anything else ever again. Going forward, the new games will continue to be released not only by Nintendo but also our published partners like From Software, our brand new Platinum game. I'm sorry, but just what happened to Platinum? I'm guessing Bayonetta 3 bombed that badly. Oh, man. It will be no different from the past hardware. I hope to look forward to the part of Nintendo Switch 2 that could be taken to go in handheld. Wait, I'm messing up. I'm sorry, I'm a bit tired. It lost its luster. We talking about lost its luster. I'm like half awake still, so yeah, the tea didn't wake me up. I'm like drinking water now. Oh yeah, by the way, chat, just to tell you, like, I know this is off topic, but we've been dealing with a bunch of dropped frames recently, and so I took advice from what one of my streamer friends told me to do, and to lower my bitrate to 4,500. And look at that. I've been streaming for about almost 4 hours, and not a single frame has been dropped. How's the stream quality, by the way? Because we're running like 4,500 bitrate. Is stream quality still good? I'm not like a pixelated mess, am I? Okay, thank you for the thumbs up, Thunder. Just let me know, because it seems like I was overkilling my internet by running like at 6,000 kbs bitrate. Because again, chat, I stream on like 3 different platforms at this point. I multi-stream, and apparently when it comes to multi-streaming, you should probably downgrade your bitrate. Yeah. Don't do what I've done. And yeah. I'm really tempted on just like canceling my appointment with my ISP. Because I think they were supposed to come in to bury a new line. But since I haven't had a single problem this entire stream, yeah. Okay, so blah blah blah. Let's see. Since Switch could be taken on the go in handheld mode, I think it blends into more daily lives. I mean, yeah. I'll be honest. The Steam Deck is like, yeah, it can be portable in a way, to an extent. But the Nintendo Switch 2, or just the Nintendo Switch in general, it's pretty much just something that you can't really fit in your pocket. Obviously your bag, but it's like, obviously they're keeping the same width of the thing, you know? They're obviously not going to make it as chunky as like the Steam Deck. But yeah, it's just something that you can just casually pull out, like, I don't know, if you're on like a long bus ride or something. I think it blends more into daily lives of players compared to the past games, with many becoming attached to their own personal Switch system. We prepared various features such as ensuring compatibility for Switch games and smooth system transfers using Nintendo accounts. So hope everyone will be, I hope I'll be able to transfer my stuff over. We discussed that for developers, releasing a game on the Switch 2 will add new value to the software through the features like game chat, but it sounds like the current Switch users will also be able to enjoy these benefits on Nintendo Switch 2 with their existing library games, allowing us to see even more enjoyment out of the new system. Lastly, Kawamoto-san, please. I'm repeating myself since the Switch 2 is a new dedicated gaming system. I'd simply like everyone to enjoy our games. As a person who makes game systems, there is nothing more important than I would hope players will enjoy games like Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, which are made possible because of Switch 2 capabilities and the gaming like Drag X Drive and Super Mario Jamboree and Nintendo Switch 2 plus Jamboree TV, which elevates the new feature of the Switch 2. I think the existing Switch games can be enjoyed even more with the features like the large screen, game chat. No one's going to use game chat. I mean, no one who, I don't know, doesn't use Discord or something. I don't know. I'll be honest with you, chat. I don't really interact that much with the friend feature. I don't know. Maybe if they brought back, I don't know, Miiverse or something, or Street Pass or Me Plaza or something. You know, something that gives a purpose to the friend list, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like back on the 3DS, it used to be cool because you on Street Pass is like, oh hey, I'm going to an airport. Let me pack my 3DS. Oh hey, I got some system notifications on it. Oh wow, look at all these people that walked by. Oh, this is so cool. I wish I could do that on the Switch. But no, sadly not. It is fascinating to hear the passion that went into creating Nintendo Switch 2. I'm looking forward to the new gameplay experience that will become the new standard for the future. Thank you very much. Yeah. Sounds about right. So they've been, overall with this article I've been reading, they don't really go into very specifics, like the very technical stuff. We're probably going to see that once it comes out and people does like a whole breakdown. People are definitely going to be mainly focusing on if the fucker drifts or not. But let's be honest, this is the main thing we're hoping is fixed with this one. Have you gone to bed or not? Yesn't. You customers gotta understand. I like woke up at around 6 a.m. after falling asleep around 3. And then it's like I couldn't go back to sleep because it was raining very hard and I was hearing like the tappity taps. I tried like closing my window because I still had like the AC insert, even though it's been getting a lot colder here recently. So I was like, oh fuck, I'll just take it out and see if it'll be more quieter with the window. And it was, but then I looked at the time and it's like, oh man, I gotta get up for stream in like 3 hours. I don't want to oversleep the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. And so pretty much I didn't get that much sleep. This was like the last Direct. They need to stop it. I'll be honest with you, customers. When the Switch, hold on. When the Direct for Mario Kart World comes out, I'm not gonna wake up early in the morning for this. I'm just going to be real with you, customers. Like, yeah, lower the bitrate will be a problem anytime you play faster paced games. I mean, is 4,500 that bad? I mean, chat, I'm not playing like rhythm games. But yeah. Anyways. Depends on what you play. I don't think I play that many fast-paced games. I'll look into it. Anyways, besides that, I also have to like wait. Like I have a scheduled appointment with my ISP later today, where they're supposed to install like a new line to replace the current old one that's been running through our basements. It's supposed to be underground, so I'm kind of curious on how they're going to do it. In fact, actually, now I think about it, I already knew about it because the other guy told me how they're going to do it. But they just need permission from the neighborhood management, which I was able to secure by just emailing them. Yeah. I know my old man was always telling me, oh yeah, call their emergency number. It's like, I felt so awkward when I was on the phone with the dude because their offices was closed. And then he was like, oh, just send me an email. I was like, oh, okay, I'm very sorry about contacting you on the emergency phone. You gotta understand, they had an emergency number for their emergency number, and that didn't work. Oh, man, me and the technician around the time, because it sucked, because I honestly picked the most horrible time. I think it was like 5 p.m., and my neighborhood management closes around that time. Yeah. But yeah, no, I secured permission. They were able to bury a new line.
So be on the lookout for more information in the future.
Okay. But yeah, honestly, this is probably the closest thing we're going to get with a Mario Kart with a story mode. Because you can go on road trips. And yeah, I'm really curious about the off-roading adventures you can have now. Because if you think about it, for the longest time when it comes to like... depends on what you play. Let me see. Whether won't work with... Really? Okay, I'm gonna have to test. I don't know. It won't work with Helldivers. Yakuza might be okay. Okay. Because I think I lowered it to 5,000 kbs, and my frames are still dropping occasionally, and it was frustrating. I don't know. I mean, my internet was behaving this morning. But last night, during the stream, I think I was running 6,000, and we were having some dips. It was pretty bad. I've been logging my recent streams. But yeah.
Through 4 courses in a bid for first place.
Oh, it's just 4 courses here?
But don't sleep at the wheel. You'll also drive to the next course as part of the competition. With 24 drivers in each race,
24. Okay. Well, anyways, that's going to be it for the Nintendo Switch 2. It's here. Well, it's not here yet, but it's going to be here. And this shit's going to run Elden Ring. Yep. I gotta say, Deltarune was a pretty big drop. Although I probably will wait when it comes out on PC. Yep. Brand new. It took how many years for them to make 3 and 4 chapters? I mean, I'm going to assume these chapters must be pretty long with how long it's been in development. Like, I know they didn't want to, like, half-ass it and release another chapter and then have us wait. So, yeah. Good on them. Okay, anyways. That's going to be it for this, pretty much. So, yeah, thank you guys, customers, for joining me. And, yeah, that's going to be it. I don't know if I'll be streaming later today. Probably to do a test stream. So yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure my internet's up to, you know, being able to stream 24 hours. Sure. I got a subathon this Friday. Please stop by. It's also my birthday and my anniversary.